So I watched a documentary last night, and I wanted to talk about it today. It was called "Death of the Pastor's Wife." Um, it was something. It was definitely something. I was looking at I think to do coffee house crime today, but lo and behold, when I turned on my computer, guess who popped up? Stephanie did. So I have a feeling we're going to get an even more in depth discussion about this because this dude is yo. I would say let's about a boom and about a bang. Okay, this nigga is crazy.
A church in South Carolina has gone viral recently. Even
What? You know what? It's always something with this computer. I'm blaming the computer. I know it was probably me.
widely talked about on the national news, and it all starts with a few very strange sermons. A younger looking pastor by the name of Pastor JP is on stage giving a sermon. He says, "If you ever want to know what's going on in my life, it's always what I'm preaching about. God is so good to do that every single time. One day, I'm going to preach about getting rich, strong, healthy, and finding a hot wife that loves Jesus. That's what I'm going to do." I'm just kidding. I told you I shouldn't be here today. I shouldn't be here today. He holds both of his hands up like he's surrendering, and it's kind of the whole congregation laughs. But maybe it's a slightly uncomfortable laugh, because there on his ring finger, on his left hand, is a wedding band. Pastor JP is talking about finding a hot wife that loves Jesus when he's already married to his wife, who is also very active in the church.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie to you, cuz y'all already know I'm a Christian. And seeing this man literally have these sermons that are like just this I'm just gonna say I'm biased. All right, I already saw the doc. I don't like this guy. Actually, I really don't fucking like this guy. But like, bro, it's always crazy to just see crazy.
It's weird. It's humiliating for his wife. It sounds like he wants a new wife. Honestly,
That's what it sounds
like.
Like he has very weird humor. Is that what it looks
Yes,
like? Or
yes.
He's not being serious.
It sounds like he's being a little serious, but
It's like one of those like, what did you just say? Wait, huh? Like it's like he just says, wait, what? Huh?
he's trying to laugh it off.
And people don't know how to react.
Yes.
Yes,
It rubs
it's
a lot of people
uncanny.
the wrong way, as it should. But that's not even what makes these sermon videos circulate all over mainstream media and on social media. It's not until a few weeks later, Pastor JP gives another sermon.
Oh my
Pastor
gosh.
JP is standing in front of his congregation where he says in this high-pitched, shaky voice,
Oh my gosh.
"I got to lay next to her, spend time with her about 4 times this week, and each time it still didn't hit me.
I thought she was going to wake up, I even tried to raise her from the dead one time this week. And,
Do the high voice.
What?
This sermon is from his wife's funeral
Yeah.
after she was found dead in a national park. A sermon Pastor JP gives on how he tried to resurrect his wife from the dead because he couldn't believe it. But in that sermon, he fails to mention that she was in the process of separating from him. He had alleged that he groomed her since she was 15 years old, that he was allegedly having an affair with another woman from the church, and a long list of allegations of abuse that have been made against him. That was omitted from the sermon. This is the case of
Rest in
Micah
peace,
Miller,
yo.
and everyone wants to know, what exactly happened to the pastor's wife?
Bro, rest in peace to Micah Miller, bro. Like that, I have a feeling we're gonna get more and more in depth than the doc. Shit, man, I didn't know he was grooming her. I just remember like she was. Oh my gosh, these people be some sick ass motherfuckers, man. Damn. Rest in peace to Micah Miller.
To thank
cuz.
today's sponsors who have made it possible for Rotten Mango to support Justice for Micah's GoFundMe.
Oh,
Her
alright.
sister Sierra Francis has taken on the full-time job of managing the family's fight for justice.
Rest in
This
peace, bro.
GoFundMe campaign serves to assist the family with legal fees as they fight to get answers in what could be probably a very long, complicated judiciary and investigative process.
Oh, also, this video came out 2 years ago. As of now, I already know. Spoiler alert, but he's been arrested, and I believe it said his trial is in October of this year. So fuck this guy.
All the GoFundMe information, where to donate. They even have t-shirts where the proceeds will go towards supporting the family. They have engraved bracelets, memorabilia, a gallery wall, tip line. Any and all of that information will be in the description. This episode's partnerships have also made it possible to support Rotten Mango's growing team. We would also like to thank our listeners for your continued support as we work on our mission to be worthy advocates. Yeah. As always, full show notes are available at rottenmangopodcast.com. A few quick disclaimers on today's case. Everything covered in the episode is what was available at the time that this episode was filmed. The investigation is still underway, meaning almost anything can change. We will do our best to keep you updated with possibly a pinned comment below if there's any major updates. However, we do encourage you to check Justice for Micah's webpage. They have an updates tab. As for content warnings, there is mention of self-exit, DV, allegations of SA, child SA, grooming, struggles with mental health, and brief mentions of religious trauma. The discourse surrounding religious trauma involves Christianity specifically. However, the events, behaviors, and even quotes from people involved in this case are inaccurate representations of Christianity as a whole. And one last disclaimer for today's case. There have been 0 charges, 0 convictions, even official persons of interest, let alone suspects in today's case. As of the date that this is published, the official manner of death has been ruled a self-exit with no foul play involved. All the following is alleged. The information is available online, netizen speculations, and in the States, you are innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. Some statements have been condensed for time, but these are all things to keep in your mind. This episode is also not to cast any suspicion on anyone or any parties in particular, nor is it made to sway your opinion on somebody. So with that being said, let's get started.
All right, let's do it.
A very bizarre video of the local pastor of South Carolina goes viral. This time it's not a sermon, but it is of Pastor JP. He's laying on the grass with his cheek up against the ground. His face is almost all smushed into the grass. It looks like he was about to get out of his car, but his whole body went limp and he dives face first into the grass. He's like half in his car, half on the grass. And it just looks like, for some reason, someone put super glue onto the grass because he's not.
What would you do if you seen somebody, what would you do if you seen your pastor like this? Like, just thinking of, I don't know, just having that hindsight with what's being said, it's like, cuz, what is going on?
Getting up. His face is not moving. It feels like he's stuck in that position. His palms are just digging into the ground. The video is taken by a worried passerby who knew Pastor JP, but also knew that Pastor JP was recently upset because his wife was leaving him. He had 5 kids that were no longer going to have both parents in the house, and he was just going through a lot. The person recording asks, "What's the matter? Are you okay? What's the matter?" JP starts talking, and this JP stands for John Paul, by the way.
How old is John Paul?
At this point, he's probably, wait. It was 2015. He's 44 today. So like 34?
35?
Yeah, he's like 35 in the video.
Oh, wow.
JP starts talking in this incredibly high-pitched voice. It's so high-pitched, it sounds like he inhaled a helium balloon. I switched medications today. It makes me go crazy.
Gotta admit, this was very bizarre to watch. I'm not gonna lie to you, going into certain things, you just gotta just accept whatever you about to see. I was not expecting to see nothing like this. Hey, bro.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
You got Mark coming?
Okay, but you got Mark coming to help you, right?
They didn't even help him up. Like, bro, help him up.
He continues to blubber between sentences and he starts sobbing. I feel these ants. They keep biting me. Bite me everywhere. Is your medication something they gave you? Yeah, they were drunk. They were doing this in their days as they were something. There's ants all over me.
Oh my gosh.
It feels like there's ants on you?
You on the ground?
Yes.
Yeah.
The pastor starts crying in the grass, like this high-pitched whining sound. There's no ants on you, though. It's just, maybe that's how you feel, JP, but there's no ants on you. There's none on the grass. I'm gonna see Jesus. I'm gonna see Jesus. No. I just need to get to you, Jesus. I just need to get to you, Jesus. I just want it to happen quickly. I don't want anything to steal me. Don't look at them, please. Don't look at them, Jesus. I just want to be able to talk to them in bed at night. They're getting in my head now. I'm afraid. I just look at my room all day and look at the ceiling and I wonder what my kids are doing, what my wife is doing. I don't want my mom anywhere near. They're crazy. I want to get
Holy
off medication, and this is what it does. They're crazy. I can't eat. I can't sleep. I can't do nothing. I feel like ants in my eyes. I can't open up my eyes.
Like, sounds like he's under something?
Yeah, there were allegations. Okay, from a third-party perspective, I'm not saying this is what happened, but considering the religious context, some people say that he looks possessed. Some people say it looks like a drug psychosis. Some people say it looks like a mental breakdown.
He kind of looks like he needs to get up off the grass, in my opinion. Also, just letting y'all know, I don't like this guy, so...
But it's definitely not normal behavior at all. Now, the pastor goes completely silent, almost catatonic silent, just laying there breathing.
Just
and the
zooming
neighbors start
in.
zooming in on his face. It seems like either Pastor JP is losing it or perhaps in some sort of, like I said, psychosis.
Something.
The video itself is very alarming and just unsettling, bizarre. I'm not even sure what the right word for it is. It's just a very strange video, made
It's
even more
disturbing.
strange by the fact that this is a pretty well-known pastor in South Carolina that's the subject of this video. But the timing of this video being posted onto Facebook and the caption that is uploaded along with it makes the video even more intriguing.
What you mean?
The video was posted onto Facebook May 10th of this year, 2024, a few weeks after Pastor JP's wife was found dead in a national park.
My gosh.
The caption reads, I believe the saying goes, getting a taste of your own medicine. And I mean that quite literally. You have used and abused for way too long, JP, only to get up on that pulpit and consistently discredit your victims by airing out intentionally degrading and inappropriate personal information.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, bro. Like, he just kept... I don't know if she's gonna show some of these sermons, but he just kept saying embarrassing shit, like damn near like HIPAA violation type of stuff. It's like, yo, my gosh, the fuck is your problem?
Doing that allows you to control the narrative. Now we have the death of your wife that you claim
And he's a
only
bad
took her
actor.
life because of mental illness. Fact is, JP, nobody was ever mentally ill until they met you. You are the common denominator in all of this. This video is only proof that you yourself have issues and you know what medication can do to someone. JP, I could have done this anonymously, meaning the poster could have posted this video anonymously. But I want you to see it's coming from me, so you don't go after anybody else. You know I've got receipts, and you know I'm not scared. I have never met anyone like you. But what I've learned is, and what I've been taught is, people like you repeat their behavior and every so often they slip up and show who they really are. Solid Rock Church. Let me introduce you to your pastor.
Hey,
you
yo.
don't see this version on Sundays. This is the guy that you allow to give you and your family counsel.
I ain't gonna hold you, man. I keep saying I ain't gonna hold you. Sorry. If I'm going to church and say like I'm in, like, you know in those sorry, Stephanie.
The guy
You know in those movies where, or like pieces of media where someone gets exposed like mid event that's happening, like say like you're at like an event and then the person speaking, it just got exposed and everybody's like doing the mumbles and stuff like that. Like I would actually, I don't know how I would actually be. I would be very confused. Like just looking down, seeing this video and looking up and just looking around like am I like the Twilight Zone? Like this is the past. This is who's up there. What?
you share your personal vulnerable information with that he will use against you when and if you question him.
Warn these
To
people
the
about
ones
this
who are the
man.
reason that I'm involved in all of this, I hope you understand why I had to do this. Enough is enough. Some want to raise awareness and most want justice. Well, Godspeed, JP. If you know, you know. Internet, do your thing.
Oh shit.
Hashtag justice for Micah and many others.
Wait, so the video was taken in 2015.
Yes.
And he just had
And
this
in
on him.
2024, this year, Micah passed away.
Yes.
And
Right.
then a few weeks later, video was posted.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you know who posted it?
A neighbor and someone that I guess is familiar with the church. And this is the caption that he posts along with it. So at first, when Micah passed away, it seems like the news was very much retained in that local area of South Carolina. And slowly as things start developing, such as this Facebook post, it becomes national news because it's so cryptic. What does this mean?
Yeah.
I mean, people are just trying to figure out, like, what the hell is going on in that small church in South Carolina? What did Pastor JP do?
Tuh.
Pastor JP's wife filed for divorce October 2023. In the divorce document, she claims that her husband, Pastor JP, cheated on her multiple times. In an affidavit sent to her attorney, she writes, "Since the day we became husband and wife, I have been abused in every way I can think of, emotionally, sexually, spiritually, financially, and physically."
Oh my gosh, dude. One of the things that was a point of contention that was being talked about, and I just kept hearing it, it was like, God don't like divorce. God don't like divorce. God don't like divorce. And like, I'm sitting here just thinking like, bro, God don't like when you abuse your fucking wife either. You know what I'm saying? Like, in some of these sermons, and sometimes it be throwing me off when people use a certain type of verbiage when it comes to, I guess, sermons and preaching. Like a couple things he was doing, it said, "Oh, wives, honor your husband, or he gonna be tempted 20 times that same day." Like sometimes it just boggles my mind that people just hold on to the fact that as if like God didn't say honor your wives too. You know, it's in there. It's in there. Sometimes that be throwing me off, bro. You're supposed to honor each other. Fuck.
He has harassed me.
But also he used to like he would seep in like, "Oh, your spouse," as if like one of those things where you like put a little bit of a truth in there to make your lie like be more believable. And he just start going back to, "Oh, husband this, he gonna get tempted all the time." It's like, hey, what?
And electronically with letters, phone calls, emails, and texts. He's hacked into my emails, hacking my personal Facebook, and impersonating me, using my stolen phone to send texts and emails out to church members pretending to be me, texting friends and family saying that I'm sleeping with teenagers from our church, and showing up in person at places around town. He has installed 3 different tracking devices on my vehicle. This was sent to her attorney 9 days before Micah Miller, the wife, would be found dead in a marsh.
What day? When was she found?
April 27th. 4 days after her death, sources state that Pastor JP was out seen at a bar with his alleged mistress. Pastor JP decides to have a premarital sermon series. This was a while back before his wife passed. He believed these are sermons every couple should be ministered before getting married. This is like the most valuable lesson of marriage and being in a relationship that he can pass on to his congregation. The sermon was going to be broken up into 2 different parts. One would be about every man's battle in a marriage. The other would be about every woman's battle in a marriage. That's what he titled them. During the man's battle sermon, he starts off by saying, "Every man's battle is looking at things that do not belong to us and lusting after those things."
Not gonna lie, you lost me there, buddy. That's not every man's battle. It's not. Control your horny. Control your lust. Literally in the Bible, it says your lust is going to be your downfall. But like you can control it. That doesn't mean it's every man's battle. I would say for me, lust isn't one of my battles. I'd say self-improvement and like self-awareness and all that stuff. Lust isn't one of them though. So don't say every man, because it ain't every man, buddy. All right? Because if you talking about yourself, I do not want to be like you, all right? I do not want to be like you.
How can you tell a loose woman just by the way she looks?
What the fuck? Bro, what? I'm just...
If she doesn't wear a bra, or if her bathing suit in the back barely covers up her crack. And if every picture on social media is either in a bikini or showing off her chest, that's how a man can tell if a woman is loose.
No!
So if your daughter dresses like that, I don't want to say be ashamed because that's not godly. If your daughter dresses like that, you need to be convicted of it and teach her how to be a modest girl and a modest woman, because every unsaved man in the entire world is looking to see bra, bikini, thongs and what she shows on Facebook.
Every what?
And teach her how to be a modest girl and a modest woman, because
we're just gonna like I'm gonna breeze by that because that's just fucking ridiculous. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Every unsaved man in the entire world is looking to see bra, bikini.
Every unsaved man in the entire world So I'm just assuming like all the men, all the men. You telling me all the men, half of the population is want to look at bras, bikinis, whatever? No.
Thongs and what she shows on Facebook.
No.
That's how you can tell a loose one. And every man in this room knows exactly what I'm talking about. That's why all of our faces are so red right now.
No, not yet. No, our faces are red because you just spewing nonsense. Like, you ever heard something that just made you go like, what did you just say? What?
Listen, ladies, you don't want a man to want you for what you look like and what you're flaunting off. Listen, once you lose that body, you're going to lose the man. He also states that there are 3 reasons why a married couple does not have healthy intimacy. The 3 reasons are, number 1, there's an explicit video addiction somewhere in the marriage.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm gonna be talking today again. Sorry. One thing that I don't really want to hear in a sermon. Maybe you may want to, or y'all don't probably care. One thing I don't want to hear is talking about expletive stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't really want to hear about that. I don't. Every man needs to hold your horny. I guess it's not my cup of tea, or no, it's not my brand of vodka. You know what I'm saying? It's like, cuz, why are we talking about this?
Is addicted to porn. 2, there's a negative or unkind spouse, because a man would rather, unfortunately, this is sick and sad, a man would rather have a computer screen than a woman who's unkind and nagging and fault finding and negative. I mean, in a heartbeat. And most men, they'd rather have a computer or a phone than a woman who's always fussing and griping about something.
No.
Or the 3rd reason, homosexual struggles.
Oh, just gotta slide some homophobia in there, huh? Gotta sprinkle that on top like some fucking salt. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
But there's a way to fix that, he says. That means every wife in here is in a very powerful position. You're in a position of, you've got great responsibility. If you make excuses, if you're negative, okay, I promise you, Satan has a computer image right around the corner.
Nigga, no.
Don't refuse to each other.
That's so crazy. Cause like, what if you don't want to do it, bro? Like, what? You over here just dangling Satan with a computer screen, telling them don't deny each other, don't do it. Why do people act like, or just act like the majority of the world, not the world, but like the majority of men just want to be fucking all day, bro? No, you're the one that's that horny. Don't put us in this. Like, what are you talking about? Satan dangling a computer screen. What? Like, just that don't make sense. It just doesn't make sense to me. My wife is nagging me, so I just want to go watch porn. What? What the fuck? No. Or maybe porn is that bad, but like, what are you talking about?
Do you know that you can actually help your husband in the area not be tempted by you being a giver in this area? That's amazing. Amazing. That's why when you walk as a married couple, you make sure both of you are 100% satisfied. He also tells the wives to not speak too much about their husband's failures or else he will never open up. He says, if you say to a man, you did such a good job painting that wall, he hears success, success, success. I love you. I'm attracted to you. Success. I want you. Success. If you say you never pick up your socks off the ground, failure, failure, failure. I've worked 40 hours this week. I'm paying the bills and I take care of the kids. And that's what you want to bring up? My socks, that I'm a failure? I don't want you. Get out of my life.
Yeah, this guy is more crazy than me. I ain't gonna lie to you. I mean, I wouldn't feel like a failure. I'd be like, damn, shit, I would feel unclean. You know, sometimes people be having unclean moments. Just pick up your fucking socks. Oh my gosh. It's just it's just 2 sides of extremes. Like, oh, you did good painting the wall. Oh, you did so good, baby. Oh, you left your socks in. Oh, you fucking suck. Like, no. You're preaching this to people. There is a different world out there. I've been looking at some sermons from other churches. Sometimes I'll be scratching my head, but this one is just like, okay, you have a very intense personality, but I'm not like that. Failure, failure, failure. My gosh.
That's how a man's gonna feel. You have to be very careful when you talk to a man to make him a success. He says one of his favorite pastors had once said, if a man knows when he fails, he will be seen as a failure, he will never repent. He will never change and never be healed. But if a man knows when he fails that there's somebody there who will pray for him, give him counseling, encourage him, and get him restored, that man will step forward and repent every single time. He says, I want every wife in here to know that if your husband faithfully tithes, which means he has financial wisdom, tithing is offering. You give money to the church.
10%.
To the
That
church. 10%. By the way. I want every wife in here to know if your husband faithfully tithes, which means he has financial wisdom, if he serves in church and he's willing to do whatever it takes to be free from pornography, he is in the top 1% of men in the entire world. Hallelujah.
Sure, I guess. Why do you keep sliding that pornography thing in, though? Like, damn. My gosh.
Now, he may eat Doritos in bed. He may leave his dirty drawers hanging around in the living room. I don't know. But he may have some other issues in there. But for heaven's sake, shut your mouth and love that man.
Oh,
and
my
thank God he's in the 1% of men. The next week was a segment for Every Wife's Battle. During the Every Wife's Battle, he asks the crowd what they think every woman's battle is. And they finally start responding out loud. And he jokes, it's obviously your mouth. No, I'm joking. Calm down.
Bro, he's doing this like I hate my wife type humor, or like just like the what is it called? Just like that brand of type of humor in church. It's like, yo, relax. This is a, you know what?
Truth is, ladies do speak more than men, and so the Bible says the more you talk, the more you're likely to sin.
Most of the gossip comes from ladies. Most of the negativity does come from ladies.
I'm sorry. It's just because you talk the most. We think it, y'all say it. This is kind of ironic coming from someone who yaps.
That's what I'm saying.
That's true.
Yeah, like
every
what?
Sunday. And I don't mean this in a crude way, but if I were to preach to the ladies today, to the wives about the words that come out of your mouth, that would be the equivalent to me preaching to the men last week about adultery or masturbation. The greatest enemy a woman will ever face in her life is not her ex-husband. It's not her parents that did not affirm her. It's not her boss. It's not the devil. The greatest enemy a woman will ever face in life is the battle that's going on inside her mind. You ladies, y'all can think 1,000 things at once. The smallest thing can happen and you can visualize the divorce and think about 20 things that if someone offends you today in church, you got a list of 20 things they did that offended you before and it all comes to the forefront of your mind. He then brings up a visual of a man's brain and a woman's brain.
Bro, this
he
guy's
says,
crazy.
Men have about 6 thoughts. That's about it. Men think about money, work. They think about food, sex, sleep. And I'm going to be kind and say they also think about God.
It's just so fascinating seeing somebody just take the weight of generalization on their shoulders and just say the most off the wall shit. Like, cuz I'm an overthinker, so I overthink a lot. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like, bro. And also, I find it interesting when people of the opposite sex tell the opposite sex what they are. Like, I just always find that, you know, interesting. Like, men telling women how women are and women telling men how men are. It's like, I guess it's just like one of those things where, like, how do you know? Like, honestly, like, how do you know? And even with some type of anecdotal evidence, we both don't know. Like, you actually don't know. So, like, in terms of generalizing stuff like that, I feel like it's very degrading. And also, I feel like, come on, bro. Like, don't say that about me. There's more to me than just all that shit that you thinking about. Not you, Stephanie. JP.
Other than that, men don't think about nothing. Yeah,
men don't think about nothing.
Then he says that this is what a woman's brain looks like. Does this dress make me look bad? I can't believe my husband wore this today. I don't like the person that's sitting next to me. Are my kids okay? I'm tired. I should have been. Am I a good mom? Am I a bad mom? I bought McDonald's for the kids last night. Oh, what's wrong with me? I can't believe this sermon. He's gonna minister to me. I don't know if I remember that scripture. Not that. Wait, do I have my Bible with me? All these thoughts. He said he compares a woman's mind to a hoarder's house, very cluttered, completely cluttered, and everybody else can see it too. He says, he also compares the clutter in a woman's mind to be equivalent to a man committing adultery. If
What are
you
you
go
talking,
and think,
bro?
you know, my husband never closes the pantry door, and you want to bring it up every time, you have to tell yourself, what if he never closes it for the rest of your marriage?
You know what's funny about that? Like, bro, this dude, he's yapping, because, like, how did that does not make sense. Committing adultery is not.
Are you still going to be married to him? Of course you are. Then why bring it up? Why
What?
even think about it?
Close
Is
the
it that
fucking
big of a
cabinet.
deal? And you
Yes, close the fucking cabinet. Like, what are you talking about? My gosh, like, what? Why would you even want to see a cabinet door open like that? Like what? Like, I don't know. It's like, or maybe because shit like that just makes me think. Like, I'd be thinking someone's gonna crawl in there. Close the damn cabinet. You wouldn't leave your car door open all day. Like, what? This shit don't make.
think, well, no, it's not that big of a deal. Then don't bring it up if it's not that big of a deal. Of all the great things he does, and that's the one thing you're going to talk about,
Yes,
is
close
that
the
he
cabinet.
doesn't close the cabinet doors. Just close them and let it go.
Now, he did say, like, this, everything he preaches about is what his life is. So, like, you are a freaky, you are a horny toad, yo. You need to close the cabinet. Like, what the fuck? Stop leaving your socks around. My gosh.
Which, obviously, as a woman with a very cluttered mind, I find great errors and faults in this very skewed way of thinking.
And as a man with a very cluttered mind, this guy is crazy. You should not listen to this man. Like, oh my goodness gracious, cuz.
But at least, some people could argue, at least Pastor JP walks the talk.
No, the hell he
He's a
don't.
great husband. He's in a loving marriage. Maybe he knows something. Maybe we're just spiteful people.
No.
Who need to find purpose.
No.
One day, JP's wife comes home and finds him in a compromising position with the babysitter. The girl that watches their children. In their house. The one that JP has known since she was 15 years old. The one that he has been a mentor to for most of her
Oh, hell no.
teens, I would say.
Oh,
The one
gosh.
that would listen to JP no matter what because she believed he was a man of God and would give her guidance. JP was having an affair with that girl, the babysitter,
It's fucking
Micah Miller.
So Michael is the second wife?
Yes,
Wow.
and there's a lot of
Wow.
sentiment towards this because the first wife, you would think that she hates her ex-husband and probably the woman that had an affair with her husband. However, you'll see that the first wife is actually maintains a close friendship with Micah. And there's a lot of reasons for that. We're going to get into it.
Okay.
A fisherman named Johnny was out in the Lumber River Park.
Hello, Johnny.
For a few hours now. He's out in the water. This is in South Carolina. He's enjoying his Saturday. He's drifting up and down, trying to be as still as possible so he doesn't scare the fish away. Lumber River Park is well known for having these incredibly smooth, incredibly slow water currents, making it very perfect for fishermen, kayakers, canoers of all skill levels. The average water current in the river is a striking 2 miles per hour. You know what else moves at 2 miles per hour?
What?
Ants.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's very slow. It's not really a river.
Wow.
2 miles.
It's perfect for Johnny and other fishermen. There's a lot of alligators as well in the park, so you have to be careful.
Oh shit.
Perhaps
What?
that's why Johnny never goes swimming in the water. He basically only ever stays in his boat. He'll find a little spot, cast a line, and just sit in the safety of his boat. There's thick trees on both sides of the river, but people say the river feels more like a marsh. The water is that deep, dark green with the tree roots twisting into the riverbank. Now, it's mid-afternoon when Johnny first hears it. He hears someone crying, and he can't really make it out. It's very distant. According to reports, he heard it for just a few minutes, but when he looked around the riverbank to see if anybody was there crying, he would try to look into the tree lines, but it was so thick he couldn't see anything.
This is scary.
Johnny himself said that if he had seen someone, he would have checked up on them all day. But all he heard was a soft, distant cry that lasted a few minutes, and then it stopped. The next thing he heard was a gunshot.
Oh,
But when he
fuck.
sits up and looks around, there's nothing. It's quiet. The crying has stopped. The gunshot is gone.
Bro, that be the scariest thing. Like, you just hear something and you gotta stand still. or like that holding your breath type thing. Oh my goodness.
Later that day, Johnny finds what he said was one of those, what do the ladies call fanny packs. It was just a few feet from the water's edge. It was black. It had a couple of items in there, including $500 in cash, a cell phone, and a small Bible.
She had her keys in the bag. She had a little small Bible, all of her credit cards, her bank cards, and a few receipts of some things. And maybe 5 minutes after getting into the slough, I heard a cry, a faint cry. Heard it for maybe 2 or 3 minutes.
Johnny discovers that the police were investigating the Lumber River Park. He hands the bag to the police and all of the contents inside. And inside the police find everything Johnny had said would be in there, plus a small wallet. The ID reads Micah Miller. The police would also locate Micah's black Honda Civic. The car tank is full of gas, and inside is a homemade sandwich that had been packed that remained untouched. In the cup holder is an open Celsius energy drink that was bought at a gas station recently.
Okay.
And shortly after, the police find Micah dead
Rest
in the
in
water
peace, bro. Rest in peace.
from a gunshot wound.
Oh my gosh.
JP's first wife.
I feel like there's like implications to her saying the untouched sandwich.
Allison states about finding out that her husband at the time was having an affair with Micah. She said, prior to my knowledge of JP's sexual relationship with Micah during our marriage, both Micah and Micah's husband at the time, Jeremy, became very close to our family. And to some degree, I took Micah under my wing as my older daughter. I taught her to drive. I took her to get her driver's license. I allowed her to take care of our children, shared family meals together in our home, provided her guidance and advice, and she even began working in the church, which I think that Allison has every right to be upset at whoever she wants to be upset with in this situation.
Yeah.
But she continues. Despite the initial destruction caused by JP's infidelity for several years, there was a part of me that was relieved to know that Micah would be present in the home when JP had periods of visitations with our children.
Also, I do want to just point something out real quick. Oh, let me do a quick little Google. Because when it comes to people, you know, being leaders of, say, like religions and stuff, number 7 in the 10 Commandments says no adultery. You're not supposed to do this. And this man, he's preaching that if he does do adulterous things, it's because the wife is the person. I think it's good to have like discernment when it comes to, well, I think people should have discernment when it comes to people who preach the gospel. And also the fact that Christianity's PR is like really, really, really terrible. It's just one of those things that I would say is my boundary, you know? Like, you gonna tell me about everything that I need to do, but you can't keep your meat in your pants? You struggling with a lot of lust that you just doing all this stuff and blaming your spouse while you still got your socks on the floor and you leaving cabinets open. Yeah, I don't think I would like for this person to be in charge of, or just be one of the people that are supposed to lead me to salvation in heaven, you know? Like, right message, wrong messenger. You know what I'm saying?
I viewed her as a safety net for our children, which is a very interesting thing. I mean, nobody would blame Allison for having a little bit of anger or resentment for all the parties involved, but she still trusts Micah more than her own ex-husband, more than the father of her own children.
That says something.
Why? Maybe it has something to do with the fact that some people believe, a lot of people believe, that Micah is not really the other woman. Like, you know how in situations like this, people might think, okay, he's cheating, this is the other woman, right?
Okay.
But a lot of people allege that this might have been part of JP's plan, allegedly. Some people speculate and allege that maybe he had been having relations with Micah, not sexually, maybe emotionally, mentally. Maybe he was manipulating her since she was 15.
Oh my
Micah
gosh.
joined JP's church when she was 15 years old, and he was the youth pastor. JP takes Micah under his wing, and since she's 15, he is kind of her mentor.
One thing that also be throwing me is that these are supposed to be men of God, right? They're supposed to be the pastor and everything. You would think that God would be very angry for what you're doing. You would think that, right? But no, I guess you think forgiveness is like one of those get out of jail free cards. You think just because the Lord always forgives, that means you just keep doing this shit, even though you broke one of the 10 commandments. You know, it's like But I don't know, man. People in power really just boggle my mind sometimes. People boggle my mind sometimes.
During life. When she turns 18, he officiates her wedding to a guy named Jeremy, who also happens to be a close friend of JP's.
This
so
is
some
crazy,
people even speculate
bro.
it's like he's deciding what she's going to do with her life. The vibe that people get is that her and Jeremy did not just like fall in love naturally. It seems kind of, it was recommended, it was set up to a degree. Jeremy also works for the church, and Micah starts working as his babysitter. JP would have his wife, Allison, who also works for the church, and Jeremy, Micah's husband at the time, out doing church stuff while he and Micah allegedly were home alone with the kids. He would allegedly shower her with compliments the whole time and take her to lunch while their spouses were working at the church, and he's the one telling them what to do with the church. One person close to the couple said, JP just has this way of taking over someone's mind. Micah and Jeremy would spend a lot of time at the Miller's house, rehearsing for music for the church. It just seemed kind of suspicious that they would always be hanging out, always together. He always had them around. It's like JP did it underhandedly to subliminally get into Micah's mind. He had her wrapped around his little finger, and she would jump even when she was married to Jeremy. He did it in such a sneaky way, and she was just a sweet person.
I really just can't get how people are able to get into minds so easily. Of course, it's like a psychological thing, but also added to the fact that Micah was literally 15, so that adds to it too. And also, JP is literally the pastor, so that would make sense too because of like the power and stuff. It's just that's so no.
A lot of people did not feel like this was a more typical situation of a husband leaving his wife for a younger woman. More so, the sentiment seemed that the husband allegedly grooms a young girl until he believes that she's fully under his control, and then he leaves his wife for her. That's what people felt the situation was. But either way, people felt they can only speculate from the outside. It was a huge scandal at the church, but eventually most third-party outsiders, they get over it, and they just hope for the best for all parties. In 2017, about 2 years after JP and Allison separate, Pastor JP calls on his congregation to come to the beach for a baptism. Okay. Micah is there with him, obviously, and is standing in the sand looking out into the ocean, and this plane flies by with a banner, and the banner reads, "Will you marry me, Micah?" Micah has no reaction. She glances around. The whole church is clapping and cheering, and she...
Isn't it kind of like odd? Isn't this odd? Like just the having the congregation around too, and you propose. Like it's just, to me, it's like it kind of just sounds like, where I would understand if somebody thinks that he's doing this just to look good in front of the congregation. Like, you know how like people who care more about looking like they're a good person than actually being a good person? Like, I'm getting that type of feeling. Like, it's just like, damn, you want your congregation to, like, everything is intertwined into the church and stuff like this. Like, bro, like, y'all are not going, oh my gosh. But and also, if people knew that she was the babysitter, would that also be like kind of weird? Or do people just like shut their brains off to like certain type of like proximity types of situations? Like, isn't that odd? Like, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. If my pastor, well, my youth pastor, well, he's married, but back in the day, I would probably be like, why are you showing us this? Like, is this like a field trip sermon? I thought we were supposed to learn about God. Congratulations to the happy couple, I guess. But, like, what? I don't know. It's different churches, so, yeah.
He leans into Pastor JP and asks, "Why is everyone cheering?" She didn't have her contact lenses in, so she couldn't read the sign.
Oh,
And
damn.
it was kind of a cute proposal story, and the whole church, or at least the members of the church that stayed, were very excited and hopeful for this new chapter, this new love story, I guess.
I guess.
What's their age gap at that point, or their age gap? in
14
general?
years. This was in 2017, but when she was 15, he would have been much older. And the people that did stay at the congregation, I think that the problem is it's very hard to hate on JP and Micah as a couple, primarily because it's very hard to hate Micah. Everybody
Right.
said
Oh,
that
I see. Okay.
she's just the sweetest. That's how everybody describes her. She's just the most loving person that you could imagine.
I'm so sorry you had to come across this person, man. That always breaks my heart, bro. Just really nice people coming across demons.
Even Allison, the first wife, maintains a good relationship with Micah after her split with Pastor JP. So November 7th, 2017, at 23 years old, Micah marries JP, the
JP like
pastor
Chris
that she
Watts.
has known since she was 15, the one that officiated her first marriage when she was 18, and now she is marrying her longtime leader and mentor, 37-year-old JP. She would take on the role of being the pastor's wife and being a stepmom to 5 children.
And also, sometimes people, like, I don't know. It's just like the mentor and mentee turning into a relationship. It's just like, it always comes off odd to me. It just always comes off odd because it's like, I don't know, man. It's just something about it. It just makes me think like, here's your mentor and you fell in love. Okay. Okay, all right. Especially with a 14-year age gap. Like, am I tripping? Like when you see, say, like somebody be like, "Oh, how did y'all meet?" "Oh, she was in my church since she was 15. I was her mentor. I officiated her wedding. She's my babysitter now. I sent my wife and her husband out to do church stuff while we stayed and taking stuff." And like, it's just weird. I don't know.
And yes, the way that their marriage begins is alarming, and it causes a bit of a stir at the church. I would imagine because of the major power imbalance, the affair, the
Exactly.
fact that he's known her since she's 15 and he was 29 at the time, the fact that he was her mentor and pastor during those formative years, the fact that she's 23 and he has 5 kids that she's going to be a stepmom to. Like I said, the fallout was pretty big. It stated that a lot of people left the congregation. But the ones that stayed said, okay, well, hopefully JP is going to treat his wife this time the way God intended him to. But perhaps old sins die hard. A few years into the marriage, the gossip in the community was JP's son had joined the local soccer team, made friends with another boy whose parents are also part of the church. Well, now JP is allegedly sleeping with that kid's mom.
Nigga.
So his son's soccer
my
buddy's mom.
gosh.
Her name is Susie, and she is married. Now, both of them have denied the affair, but according to JP's ex-wife, Allison, it was pretty out in the open. It didn't seem like they were trying to hide it. Allison said JP would even use their son to facilitate play dates, if you will, with Susie and her son.
This dude's a sick nigga, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Some sick shit. This dude's a sick nigga. Like, yo, you having a like? It's just like, wait, Susie, wait, that's the. It's like, this is, sorry, Stephanie.
Look, maybe Allison is at the stage where she's like, you, do whatever you want. You're my ex-husband.
Nah, bro. It's like this dude's MO. It's like, what the fuck? What the hell? And like, how can you just sit and just look at this person do sermons every Sunday and he's literally like doing this? You don't have no shame? Like, you ain't got no shame.
But she said that it was starting to impact the kids. She said the kids knew exactly what's going on between JP and Susie, and all their friends were talking about it, and it was causing their children stress and embarrassment.
Oh, no.
JP and Susie both deny having the affair, like I said, but Allison refers to Susie as his paramour, aka his mistress. But it seems somehow JP was able to gaslight Micah into believing that it was just another woman coming onto him, and he just lacked the guts to get rid of her. Again,
Well, pick up your balls and don't tell I have a wife. Nigga, what? Lack the guts. Get some guts. The fuck? Go to the store, get some guts. This is your second time. Like, this is your second time doing this shit, man. You might need to go to the gut store and get some fucking guts, because this is crazy.
This is all alleged, but allegedly, in 2021, around August, Susie's husband, Chris, who is also part of the church, finds out what's going on between his wife and the pastor, and allegedly he confronts the pastor about the affair, and he tells him, "You leave my wife and children alone." 2 weeks after this alleged confrontation, JP is up at the podium at the church, and he says,
We are here today. It's very, very exciting. I was Chris's pastor to preach a funeral in which I don't have to lie.
Whoa, what the fuck? Wait, whoa. I don't remember this in the doc. Whoa.
It's probably my first funeral where I get to say all the truthful stuff.
Funeral?
Nigga,
Pastor JP was leading Chris's funeral, Susie Skinner's husband. About a week before Chris Skinner's death, JP starts a sermon on a Sunday by saying, "Don't ever let a test tell you who you are. This is an evaluation tool to help you confirm and personally analyze yourself. We all need a vision." He said that we're going to be doing a DISC personality test, DISC, which each of the letters...
Bro, he killed Chris? No way. Cuz. I guess the
character traits.
Bro, the proximity and the timing is just it's so crazy, bro. Yo, this is spooky.
D for being dominant, direct, decisive, results-oriented, confident, focused on accomplishing bottom-line results, strong-willed, and forceful.
Nigga, you ain't have guts to... You know what? All right.
I, influence. People that are outgoing and enthusiastic, optimistic, people-oriented, focused on building relationships and influencing others, often seen as very persuasive and talkative. S is for steadiness, patient, accommodating, calm, consistent, focused on operation and maintaining stability, often seen as dependable and supportive. C typically stands for conscientiousness, analytical and systematic, precise and accuracy focused, concerned with quality and competency, often seen as very careful and cautious people.
Okay.
JP tells the congregation that he took the test and he got incredibly depressed because he
was D for dickhead. That's what he was.
ranked D
For
and
dickhead.
I, dominant and influential. He said he wanted to be a pastor, and people don't like D's. They like the S's. The S's are the ones that are calm and sweet and steady. He said high D, their weaknesses, they're very direct. They're always thinking in their mind. No matter who's talking, they're always thinking this. Get to the point. They're impatient. They can't relax until a project is complete. They lack empathy. They're arrogant, and they can't say, I can't even read this. They can't say it. I can't read it. I was wrong.
What?
Are these recorded?
Yes, recorded and posted onto the church website and YouTube. He describes D's like himself as like a lion. Who dares provoke him? They're incredibly intimidating to confront.
Can we get a Bible verse, dog? My gosh. He keep talking about himself. Bro, can we get like First Isaiah something like what the fuck? Oh my gosh. Sorry. I don't like this guy. Sorry.
He starts listing off a list of high D personality types. The devil, Lucifer himself, Hillary Clinton, and Hitler are all high Ds. He says the high Ds, they fear nothing at all. The only thing they fear is not getting something done.
You know, this feels like someone, you take one of these BuzzFeed quiz, and then that's your whole personality. You're kind of like, I can't help myself.
I'm such a D.
And he acts like he doesn't want to be a high D, but he seems pretty boastful about being a high D.
Yeah, exactly. And come on, it's just a little quiz, not that serious.
Yeah,
now,
bro.
their sermon is uploaded to their YouTube channel September 5th, 2021. So it could have been filmed the Sunday before or even before then. But the timing is still quite interesting. And it's fascinating because September 6th, 2021, Chris Skinner, Susie Skinner's husband, is found dead.
See, the thing about that and all this timing, it's like, again, we just think in the top of our heads again. The top of our heads. When he said, I am preaching about my life, he's having an affair, an open affair with Susie. Chris dies. Now the sermon is talking about, I'm a high D. I'm a lion. Who dares defy me? Hear me roar. Like, yo, this is about like as crazy if he actually did kill him. This is about as crazy as rappers killing somebody and making a song about it. Like, bro, what the fuck? Who dares defy me? I am lying. Can we talk about Daniel in the Lions Den? Like, damn. I may be very judgy. I don't know. I don't like this guy.
Chris Skinner, Susie's husband, this is
Rest
the
in
alleged
peace, yo.
mistress that he's cheating on Micah with. Chris Skinner is an author and inspirational speaker. He actually became a quadriplegic after being in a car accident with a drunk driver. He met Susie through his rehabilitation process, and it's said that she is the one that introduced him to the church and into Christianity. Since then, I mean, Chris just seems like the type of guy you go to when you need help. When you need someone to kind of give you some sort of guidance and inspiration, he was a very loved man.
Rest in peace to Chris,
And then on
bro.
September 6, 2021, he tragically died. He was found drowned in a community pool in Myrtle Beach. It stated that his wheelchair tipped into the pool and he became trapped underneath it.
Oh my gosh.
Now, I do want to make it explicitly clear that the police stated there were no signs of foul play.
Okay.
CCTV footage from the community center showed that he had gone there alone and they had ruled his death an accident. JP's ex-wife, Allison, remember how she stated that JP would use their children to go hang out with Susie Skinner and it was bad for their kids. She said that she confronted JP about exposing their children to the affair and not setting the right example by them. And she told them, don't ever let it happen again. Now, the interesting thing is, soon after this confrontation that she has with her ex-husband, Pastor JP calls her to tell her, hey, Susie's husband had died in a drowning accident. He sounds upset and he asks Allison, this is out of the blue, to please pray. Allison said just the timing of it all of it is just so bizarre. She's
like, either he, I'm not saying he did it, but it's one of them things where it's like, he's always there. Like, he's always there though. Like, the proximity is what is making me like, because to me, if we getting spiritual, you damn near the angel of death. People around you just go crazy. People dying. Like, again, one of the things that I would like for my pastor to be around all this stuff. Since we're ignoring the affairs and everything and the grooming, it's like, that's three things.
that all of it was bizarre. But I do want to make it clear once again that there's absolutely nothing that connects JP Miller to the death of Chris Skinner. But some believe that Chris was driven to self-exit. There are reports that the CCTV footage that is obviously not public shows Chris alone at the pool and he drives his wheelchair directly into the pool, is what it alleges.
Gosh.
Officially, his death has been ruled a tragic accident.
Oh my goodness.
So this is all going on while Pastor JP is married to Micah.
And also, you say Chris was at the pool by himself?
Yeah.
Is that something that he usually do? Is that something that happens? Like,
It doesn't appear that way.
right? Like, it's kind of, the setting is very strange for him.
Very
Why are
odd.
you why are you there?
Micah has a very close friend by the name of Charlotte. Charlotte said she received a very bizarre message a little while before Micah was found dead. She said it was weird. She probably thought it was an accident at the time, at least initially. But she said that she had been added into a group chat with Micah and Micah's husband, JP.
Oh, here we go.
Just text message. She gets added into this group chat with Micah, JP, and suddenly Charlotte is in there. They're not planning a trip. Charlotte doesn't even live in Myrtle Beach. She lives in Virginia now.
Getting added to a group chat is, bro. Oh my gosh. Sometimes I hate that shit.
It was just out of the blue. She gets
why am I
invited
in
into
here?
this group chat and she gets a text message from JP. The message reads, I would leave anyone or anything for you. I'm only asking for the same respect. Charlotte is like, what is going on right now? It's like being a fly on the wall for a marital fight. Why is she even in this group chat
That's
right
what I'm
now?
saying. What?
Can they see she's in there?
Yes, they
Yes.
added her. JP continues, you can't treat someone like shit. and then leave. You're supposed to work it out. Stay and do whatever it takes. Please don't be selfish. This one time, I'm literally begging you to do the right thing, the godly thing, the only thing that will work. I need you. I want you. And I don't want to sleep alone ever. But if you choose this, I will not beg you to come back. I won't put up with this again. This is literally your last chance to make things right. I'm too old, too hurt, and you have put me through too much to continue letting you treat me like shit while I pay for your bills and do whatever you want. I need you to act like a godly wife this one time and prioritize your marriage over your family, friends, and feelings.
Who the fuck he talking to like that?
Clearly, he's talking to his wife, Micah.
Right.
And Charlotte is Micah's friend. Why would he add her? Clearly, they're in a fight. What does Charlotte have anything to do with this? JP then sends another lengthy text message.
So it's like, to me, because it's sounding like this JP person, like if he added Charlotte, it's like one of them things where someone is like pressing somebody, and then like you look over and bring somebody over so they can see you pressing them, you know, like so they can be the witness. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just like little things that are going on here where if you don't pay attention, it could become a big thing. But like it could, like I'm assuming it's like setting a seed in Charlotte's mind.
Charlotte is in this text so she can hold me accountable for this. What you've done in our marriage this time is totally unacceptable and no man would put up with it. But I'm willing to give you one more chance.
To Charlotte to hold me accountable in this. And then we talk about Micah, which is Charlotte's friend. I wouldn't even would think to do that. What I would think Charlotte would be on Micah's side. Now it's a 2-on-1. You're not gonna just berate her like this. Like what?
I'm asking, 1, that you repent. 2, hear my heart and pretend like you understand why I'm hurt. 3, come home now. If you don't do these things that will help me feel loved, safe, and prioritized, then our marriage is officially over and I cannot allow my heart to be put through this ever again. I love you and I'm willing to do whatever it takes, but I will not be treated this way and defamed so horribly anymore. Nobody responds. I mean, what do you respond to that?
That's what I'm saying.
He allegedly texts again. We used to be the best of friends, and I'm shocked that you would throw all of that away. Maybe it's because you want to live with Charlotte. Why would you want to live with her? Or should I tell her? Go ahead, Charlotte. Ask Micah why she would want so badly to stay with you.
Yeah, I ain't gonna hold you. If I was Charlotte, I'm over here texting Micah like, yo, why this nigga tweaking out like this? What the fuck is wrong with him? What is going on? Because Micah's not even saying anything. He's literally just talking. Like he's talking to himself. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I would do my best non-texting tactic. Leave that motherfucker on red and then come back 7 months later like, my fault, I was asleep. Cause you just doing all this talking, bro. Like, what?
Please ask her. I'd love to hear how honest she is.
How honest
Since
she
she
is.
threw me under the bus today with my church elders after everything else you've done. By 9 a.m., there will be nothing left inside this house that has anything to do with you. If you want your clothes, shoes, jewelry, pictures, furniture, books, anything that is an attachment to you, then you need to be here before 9 a.m. Everything is going to Goodwill. Finally, Micah responds in the group chat. Why are you being crazy? I just wanted to visit my sister.
Oh, shit. Hey, Charlotte. Charlotte. Yo.
Why put your sister before your husband? That's the continual problem. Just once, put your husband first.
Yeah, this is one of those things where I'm gonna just say, like, in the doc, they were talking about like he was isolating her, and it's just like that is just crazy in itself. Like taking somebody away from their whole world and like excommunicating them from their family is freaking nuts.
Micah responds, I make 100 decisions a day that put you first. No wife would do this to her husband in the most desperate time of need. I'm coming to you. You're a horrible wife to do this. When I arrive, I'm going to raise hell. Your siblings are going to be up all night.
I'm going to raise hell. He sounds like Roddy Piper. Like, bro, relax. My gosh. Fuck. Damn. Oh my goodness.
If you leave now, I'll turn around. If you come now, you are trespassing. I don't care. Ha ha ha. That's funny. You can call the cops. You did this. Charlotte would later ask Micah what that was about, and allegedly, this whole fight between JP and Micah starts because Pastor JP wanted to play a little game that night.
What game?
He said it would be fun, and he kept asking his wife Micah all these fun little questions, and one of them was, if you had to kiss a girl, which girl would it be?
What?
She said, what? No, I'm not responding to that. I'm not answering that. Micah did not want to answer this question. It's weird. It's uncomfortable. And maybe she knew that he would lash out at her regardless of who she picks, even though he keeps saying it's just a game, allegedly. But he keeps asking, allegedly. So finally, she just responds, Charlotte, because she wouldn't tell. Like, she's making a joke. You know, you don't kiss and tell.
Right.
And also, Charlotte is like one of her best friends.
What? I bet the lion finna start roaring, huh?
And this explosively leads into a massive fight, it is alleged, where Micah leaves to stay with her sister for a bit to cool off. If this is true, then this is very concerning.
Yeah.
It seems like if Micah doesn't get away from this guy, something very bad is going to happen very soon.
Just the behavior of dragging another person into a group chat.
Like it's odd.
Sick.
Like,
Like he's obviously doing it to his advantage. Like he's.
and also, there's like sorry.
I don't even know how to describe that, right?
It's like one of those people who do like some what the fuck type things, but like it's not as bad as, like, on paper, it doesn't look as bad because it's in the moment of something happening. So it's like message. Oh, this person was added. Message. All right, so now Charlotte is here, so she can hold me accountable. Message. Like, it's like one of those things where it's just like just seeps in there, and you forget because you're in a very irate, like, or you're in a very stressful situation. You couldn't even imagine, or you didn't even realize that somebody else was added to the chat, and then they bring up the person that was added to the chat, and now you're like, when the fuck did they spawn here? Like, oh, jeez.
Like
It's a setup is how I feel. If this is true, if this happened, and I say that for legality purposes, my personal opinion is I don't know, that would be a very bizarre lie to make up, but who knows? Never say never, right? There are text messages that have been released. Those messages have been released.
Oh, those have been released.
Yes,
so
but
I said I'm a raise hell.
It's alleged because it hasn't been confirmed, and I don't think that we can confirm that's his phone number, and he was the one texting on it. You get the legality. But
Oh, I understand the legality, but my brain.
But it feels like a setup to me where somebody asks you a question and they're like, no, it's for fun.
Oh, yeah.
And then the part where he texts Charlotte and is like, ask her why she would want to live with you.
yeah.
It's making it into something that it never was. And I'm sure, especially considering his sentiments for relationships and the fact that he thinks one of the 3 reasons that a heterosexual relationship cannot be intimate is because someone is having, quote, homosexual thoughts. I mean, I feel like he's probably putting a very strong stigma. Like, I think it's, he's homophobic.
He's also like humiliating her in front of her friends.
Yes.
And just
Right.
imagine like doing that in public.
Now, October 2023,
the nigga, bro.
Micah files for divorce, and it seems like her life spirals into a living hell after this.
This is
She's
scary.
separated from her husband, but everything is falling apart. One day, Micah is in her car, and she's pulling out of the parking lot, and she hears this bizarre popping noise. She gets out, and she sees metal protruding
I
from
seen
her
this shit.
tire, a razor
Yo.
blade. This is the second time that she's found a razor blade in her tire that week.
Bro, no, hey, this is one of them things that I'd be very, very scared, because you know how they say, like, oh, 1 time is this, 2 times is this, 3 times is that. You got 2 times for some shit that happened to my car that don't be happening to my car. No, because they don't know what these razors. No. I don't play with cars. You playing with Micah's car, bruh? Like, this is no.
A Myrtle Beach police officer helps her change her tire so that she can drive to a dealership to get a new tire. The cop tells her, it kind of looks like a tire deflation device that you can buy online.
A tire
Meaning
deflation
someone might have
device?
purchased this with their own money for the purpose of deflating her tire, aka slashing her tire. Micah drives to the local dealership and they tell her something even more alarming. While we were under there, we found what looks like some sort of tracking device on your car.
Yo.
I think someone's following you.
God, I gotta get a gun, boy. Oh my gosh. It's like those little just certain things. Like, you know how you can feel somebody watching you, or you can feel just something weird is going on. And you were getting like tidbits of confirmation bias that something weird is going on. When you have someone that could possibly be the person doing this, I'm thinking that's who it is. However, obviously, a lot of people aren't me, but it's like, yo, this is terrifying. This is, oh my gosh. I'm so sorry.
They call the police, and while the officer is standing there, Micah gets a phone call from an unknown number.
Bro.
JP. She hands the phone to the officer, and the officer tells JP, hey, look, your wife does not want anything to do with you. You keep this up, we might even be looking at a warrant.
This is after she filed
for divorce.
In the process.
Yes. Now, that doesn't seem to do anything. It doesn't seem like anybody listens to her. The police don't really do anything. He doesn't really do anything. Because later, Micah would call the police again to state that the man she's avoiding approached her at a gas station.
Oh,
we have a video of this. She's in her car and she's filming JP walking away. And JP is saying, this video is going to be up on Facebook in a few hours. And Micah is saying, you're going to be in jail in a few hours. Walk away.
Walk away.
I'll show you the pictures.
Do you want to go to jail?
They'll be on Facebook in a few hours.
Alrighty, you'll be in jail in a few hours. Walk away.
Wait, why did he say that this video will be on Facebook?
I don't know. It seems like he's threatening to humiliate her.
Oh, he's recording too, or?
Yeah, so he's like recording her recording.
Oh.
According to News 13, Micah reported 4 instances of finding GPS trackers placed in her vehicle. But in response, it seems that JP claims that his wife is mentally unstable. He alleges that shortly after their wedding in 2017, she was diagnosed with bipolar 2, schizophrenia, and dependent personality disorder. He claims the GPS trackers on her car are for her own safety.
GPS trackers on her car. Share my location. GPS trackers on a car. This has been something for how long? And this is something from like what, the 90s, putting a fucking tracker on somebody's car. I would imagine if I'm not able to have my location shared, then they don't want to be tracked. Like what? Like he said, oh yeah, I mean, bro, but at the end of the day, see, this is the thing that's like, oh my gosh. There's nothing more scarier than someone who like goes towards the line that's going to get you arrested, but it's just enough that the police can't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like that is, oh gosh.
He said as long as she takes her meds, she'd be fine, but he has reason to believe that she's not taking her meds. He alleges that Micah was doing all right until recently a couple of women from the church told her that mental illnesses can be prayed away, which allegedly led Micah to believe that she doesn't need the meds anymore, that she would be cured through prayer. He also alleges that she did not want to take her medication because it made her gain weight and made her slur her speech. That's why she allegedly starts spiraling, which, I mean, I couldn't find any evidence of her spiraling. And he felt the need to track her through her car for her own safety.
Hell no,
The police take no action. They stated that because they're not divorced, their car is marital property. So technically placing a GPS tracker on marital property, I mean, that's not illegal.
See what I mean? Fuck, dude.
Which I don't know if there's different state laws. I don't know if that is legally correct, but that's what they allegedly stated. So they didn't do anything. Man. There is a Facebook group that Pastor JP was part of, or allegedly a part of.
Allegedly.
And the Facebook group is called Big Boobs and Nice Curves.
Excuse me?
April 8th, a few weeks before Micah is found dead,
Big boobs and
she
nice
finds
curves.
a picture of herself, a topless photo of herself posted to
Like,
that Facebook
yo.
group. She knows it's her, even though part of her breasts are blurred. She knows it's her because whoever posted it tagged her old Facebook account. And there was only one person other than her that would have this photo because she's only sent it to one person. JP, Pastor JP.
This nigga is a pastor doing this, and then he's going to church on Sunday. Like, yo, what the fuck? Oh my gosh. Like, cuz, lock this nigga up.
Micah reports it to the police, but they tell her since the photo was uploaded anonymously, there's no way to prove who even posted it.
Bro, y'all can't IP, I can't IP address track or some shit. Gosh dang, man. Shit. It's always nothing we can do. Nothing we can do. Can you try? Bro, she's getting terrorized, dude. She's literally getting terrorized. He put razors on my tires. Like, what? Marital property. There's razor blades on my tires. Oh my gosh, it's a fucking GPS. Like, ain't the police sniff their noses in less?
Additionally, they argue because she did send that picture to somebody, they own the picture.
What?
So they could technically post.
Is that what? I thought revenge porn. What? That didn't. What?
It. And
really?
Well, so they said they can post it the way they posted it because the nipple part of the breast was blurred out, which means it does not meet the South Carolina Code of Law for nudity.
My gosh.
Was her face in there?
I don't know.
Oh my goodness.
Now, there was nothing the police could do. Micah gets an
remember
email
this
a
from
little
the
while later
doc.
from JP, allegedly, and it reads, "I'm sorry for putting a picture of you on the internet. It was for less than 1 hour and immediately taken down. I was hurt that you were telling everyone horrible, intimate details of my past sin, and I just wanted to try and hurt you."
Police. He admitted it. Police. He admitted it. Get his ass.
Please forgive me. It was evil for me to do that. It seems like Micah knew that she needed to leave this very toxic relationship. She was already in the process of leaving, but she was terrified.
I can imagine.
Micah had tried to leave before. January 2023, a little over a year before her death, she moved to Kansas to try and start fresh. She does have family in Kansas, from what I can tell. She joined a new church. She was making new friends, and it seemed like she was just trying to turn over a new leaf.
This nigga's
But out of nowhere, she sends her sister a text message out of the blue that reads, "Hey, good news. I've been reconciled. My husband's allowing me to come back home.
Hey, that verbiage.
Praise God."
That verbiage. Allowing me. Man.
Wow.
It was just very odd. It didn't make any sense why Micah would go back. And obviously, if this were an abusive relationship like it is speculated and alleged, there's a lot of reasons why victims go back to their abuser. And it's not because they weren't being abused, and it's not because they want to be abused. There's so many reasons. And a lot of that has to do with gaslighting, manipulation, emotional control. And I'm not saying that's the situation here, but here is some insight on why Micah might go back. It's alleged that JP was constantly guilt-tripping her, using religion against her. He would try to gaslight her and manipulate her by bombarding her with text messages, messaging her family if she tried to ignore him. Apparently, he sent a message once after a fight that reads, "All of this started because of one bad decision a month ago in Colombia." Context clues, it sounds like he cheated on her in Colombia, is what people are gathering. But again, we don't know. If I could turn back time, I would. He continues.
Nigga, no. Stop it. This is how many of these times? No, you are a cheater. You would not turn back time. Actually, you would accelerate the time for you about to cheat. That's what you was finna do. Talk about some turn back time. You are a terrible person. This guy sucks. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, no, stop it.
He had the greatest marriage in the world up until that one wrong choice. It can continue down that path, or we can have an amazing marriage once again. The choice is yours.
What?
If you come home today, we can take the rest of the year, go to counseling every day, go to Iceland, do whatever in order to get well. I also desperately want a child with you. I'm just scared of this. This is the only reason I wouldn't have a child. I'm scared of divorce or putting the child through things like this where you leave and aren't willing to do whatever it takes.
It sounded like he messed up, but his answer is like, you need to forgive.
Yes.
You need to choose to have a good marriage. Like,
and what he be saying in them sermons, like, ladies, you need to be a giver to your man. No matter what even if he cheats on you, even if he does all these things, like, This nigga's a clown.
He's putting this all on her.
Yes.
Yeah, like, what
that's
the fuck?
exactly the point. Like, it's up to
up.
you now. It's your choice. Like, he also brings up the fact that he desperately wants to have a child with her, which I'm not sure. Perhaps that could be a strong emotional trigger for her personally.
Hey,
and then
bro.
he ends the message with, "But I'm scared of putting the child through things like this where you just leave."
Yeah, because, forget your wife. Like, oh my gosh. Damn. Micah, I am so sorry. Oh my gosh. And he get married to somebody else? Like, oh.
He starts off, if my context clues are correct, by addressing an alleged affair. And then in the length of one singular message, manages to make it her responsibility and her fault. It also appears, in my opinion, that he uses religion against her. There are messages where he texts Micah's sister. Biblically, when your spouse needs you, nothing else should come before that.
This is like a prime example what gaslighting is.
Yes.
Right.
Implying, he needs Micah to come back and she's not coming back.
Like, you talk about some biblically this, biblically that. Well, it wasn't in the Bible for you using the phone, so get the fuck off my phone. Like, what, bro? Oh my gosh, dude. This nigga is, ugh.
He also sends messages like, "I have a list of how we can make our marriage amazing and all will be okay."
Fool.
Or messages like, 5 years ago, me and Micah, Mark and Kay, Dan and Erica all got married in the same month. Now all of us are going through a divorce in the same month. If Micah actually cares, she will do exactly what God wants and do whatever it takes to make it work. One message reads, "You win. I will allow you to completely destroy me, continue to hurt me, and you leave. But I'm still begging for you back and do whatever it takes if you come home. You'll never find another man who loves you enough to do whatever it takes after you."
Oh, shit. No, he said that. He said the thing that you never say. You don't say that. Because they'll probably find somebody better. You don't say that shit. You were never going to find somebody. No, I actually would like to find somebody different than you. That's why I'm leaving. No, yeah, you would never find somebody like me. Yeah, that's the point.
Treat him the way you treat me. According to an affidavit by Allison, JP's ex-wife, JP would even take his children's phone, this is what she alleges in her sworn affidavit, and text Micah, begging her to come back, making her believe the kids need her. The text reads from JP allegedly pretending to be his daughter. "Hey, when are you coming home? Dad just cries and prays really loud."
This nigga is sick. This is a sick man. You're using the kids as...
"I wish I could come home," frowny face. "Dad says you can come anytime. I told him I'm asking you about lashes. He says different things to me. I miss you guys very much. I cry too."
Bruh.
He said sorry, and it's your birthday. "Yep, I'm 30. Just got my toes done at Daisy's. Life is gonna move on, but it'll be really weird for a bit." Frowny face. "So you're not coming home ever? What can I tell Dad so that you can come home? I prayed with Dad for you to come home. Thank you for your prayers. Inside, I know he knows what's right, but we have to make choices that line up with that." And this part, she says, "You're really smart and kind and pretty, like your mom. I will miss you." So again, there have been allegations that like Micah and Allison have a tense relationship, and I'm sure at points they were tense, but it seems like Micah and Allison do have respect for each other.
Right.
Like the fact that she's saying that is just, I think that shows you a lot about Micah.
Yeah.
Mom says boys are dumb, but I know Dad loves you a lot. I've never seen him cry so much. If he asks you what we talked about, tell him lashes.
Hey, man, listen. I ain't gonna hold you. That boys are dumb is one thing, but JP is a dumb ass.
I have to delete this. I understand.
Oh my gosh.
I'm praying too without Dad that you'll come home. He's crying so loud right now. Can you please talk to him? I promise he loves you. He has your pictures all over your house. He won't do anything with us. He just keeps crying. I'm sorry. Last time I tried to come home and be peaceful, he called the cops and said I was trying to break in after he was the one that asked me to come.
That's gotta hurt. Like, that's really gotta hurt. Because I can understand. Sorry, Stephanie. I can understand just that feeling of leaving a situation when like kids are involved and like you've ingrained your lives with them, or like they like miss you and stuff like that, And like the fact that you, I would say, have to try and save yourself. Like I can imagine that being heartbreaking. And literally the person is that's the reason behind this is this motherfucker that's just screaming loud as shit in the house, wishing that Micah can come home. But then I bet if she did come back, he would do the same shit over and over again. This has to be hell in itself.
Hands are tied. He won't even let me in. Can I ask him? He has done dumb things, but all he does is ask for you to come home and ask God to bring you home. He doesn't even get out of bed. He just cries. I really liked you with my dad. These were sent from JP's daughter's phone, but according to Allison in a sworn affidavit, they were all written by JP to guilt trip Micah into coming back home.
That's crazy.
I wonder if Micah also have suspicions. Oh, is this him or is this actually the kids?
Oh my goodness.
She maybe rather be nice.
Yes, just in case.
Just in case, right?
Yeah.
It does appear that JP always knew what to say and what to do to get Micah back. Something he would likely know how to do, considering he had been Micah's mentor since she was 15 years old. And that is why people heavily frown upon, even though they got married when she was of age, that's why people heavily frown upon relationships like this. Because the mental and emotional control that you have over someone when you start a dynamic like this is just immeasurable in most situations. There are even text messages from Micah's family to Allison, JP's ex-wife, where one of the members of Micah's family texts, "Allie, I'm begging you as a mother to mother, please talk to me. I promise no one will know that we spoke. I'm concerned for the safety of my daughter. I'm asking you, begging you, not to let JP know I've reached out to you. He will just further isolate Micah from us. Please."
What are they asking of Alice?
Allison, they just want help. They don't know how to get Micah out. Micah's dad noticed a shift in his daughter after the two got married, but it seems like a situation again where I know people might be like, why didn't the family do anything? They're trying, but what can you do? Even if they forcibly remove her and force her to stay away, it would only push her closer to him. There are allegations that he purposely isolates her from her own family. Micah's dad said, as soon as they got married, her behavior went downhill fast. She seemed to be more sad, more under control. I believe he compressed her. He just sucked the life right out of her and caused her to go downhill. There were a few incidents prior to Micah's death where she decided she couldn't take it anymore. She leaves the house and comes to visit one of her siblings, and JP apparently does not like that. It's stated that during one of those occasions of Micah being at a sibling's house to get away from the alleged abuse, JP finds out and texts, not Micah, but her sibling. "I'm on the way to your house. Be there at 12:55. We will not let you inside. We aren't doing none of that tonight." "That's fine. You can call the cops. I'm armed and ready."
Oh my god.
Armed?
He is armed.
He got that
He
shit.
said, "I'm armed
I saw that shit in the fucking doc. Boy, nigga.
and ready."
Hey, bro.
They respond, "Armed? Question mark, question mark. Micah can fix all of this.
Nigga,
This doesn't
bro.
help anything. Threats and intimidation only make matters worse."
Cause he said, "I am armed and ready." He's about to raise hell like he said. Hey, boy, yo, that church gonna have to get a new pastor if you come over here playing like that. Call the whole police station. Shit, something. Yo, he's trying to shoot us. Help me, please.
I don't care. If you come here, the cops will be here waiting. If you stay home, they don't need to get involved.
Call them cops. If he get froggy, send his ass to the upper room. Then you gonna have to tell the Lord why he did the shit that he was doing, and then told people what he was telling.
You can't make a threat about being armed and ready and come to my home in the middle of the night. It's not.
The upper room, I meant like heaven, or where you go talk to the Lord and he tell you what to do.
Not safe for anyone involved. Fine by me. Haha, I don't care. That night in November 2023, so a few months before Micah passes, Micah's sister places a 911 call. 911, what's your emergency?
Help!
I need to report a non-emergency at this point. Okay, what's going on? My sister came here today to visit because her and her husband were having issues. She came from Myrtle Beach. She told him that she's going to be home on Tuesday, and he is texting me at this point saying, I'll be at your house at 12:55.
And he's armed.
I'm armed and ready, and I will
Help.
keep you up all night. I'm going to get her back. I said, you're not welcome at my home. There are no trespassing signs. You cannot threaten weapons. He has 6 guns that he just purchased recently, and he's saying I'm armed and ready, and I'm coming to get her.
The fuck? Like,
There
what?
are a lot of allegations of abuse against JP. Now, I do want to reiterate that none of these have been tried in the court of law. Therefore, they are just allegations. This is not a statement of fact, and the full list can be found on justiceformicah.com, run by Micah's family. But the list of allegations include isolating her from her family and friends. Allegedly, JP would tell Micah that her family was not good for her and they were using her. The family alleges JP would not let Micah sleep, which we have, if this is true, we've heard of. This seems very common in abusive relationships. He would keep her up at night, allegedly, and pull the covers off of her every time she started dozing off. They allege that she started having to sleep in her car at times just to get some peace and quiet. It's alleged that JP hired PIs to follow and track Micah and placed multiple GPS tracking devices on her car.
And also, there's factual evidence about it. So I would be inclined to believe anything is possible. You putting tracking devices in people's cars and shit, bro. Like, you probably was doing all this stuff. She don't want to be around you. Like, I'm believing that. What?
They allege that JP would hack into her email, iCloud, Facebook account, and would sometimes message people pretending to be Micah and would text family members or church members admitting to bad things, like she's having intimate relations with teenagers in an attempt to disgrace her name. The allegations continue. JP would tell Micah
Yeah, that's rich coming from the person.
That she was lazy and mentally ill, that her breasts were too small, that her family was ignorant and used her, that she would not be a good Christian woman if she questioned him or did not submit to him or did not keep all of his dark secrets. It's alleged that JP forced her to submit to humiliating sexual acts that disgusted and hurt her. He would allegedly berate her for not being smart and, quote, falling for anything. There are allegations that if Micah told JP she was going to expose his abuse, he would berate her for not being a good Christian because only God can judge. He also allegedly told her, which is not true because judges are judges, but he also allegedly told her that a dutiful wife...
Wait, hold on. That just caught me off guard for a second. Oh, shit.
must obey her husband. Gosh. If she does not, she is sinning. It's stated on the website that JP paid her less than minimum wage for more than her full-time employment at the church, removed her from all their bank accounts, but still made her make her own car payments, her own insurance payments, and pay for medical bills. He would also allegedly randomly fire her for disobeying him and would only allow her to have her job back if she agreed to some sexual acts or other list of demands. It said if Micah ever hinted at exposing his abuse, he would also threaten self-exit and even threatened her whole family with gun violence. There are allegations that JP would punch holes into the walls of their home. He kept guns and knives in the home, keeping Micah in a constant state of fear. One big allegation reads, while she was hospitalized, JP demanded that she have sex with him while she lay in the hospital bed. JP forced her to perform sexual acts against her will and demanded she watch him in sexual acts with others and forced her to sit still so others could touch her body against her will.
Holy shit. Oh my gosh. This is hell. If true, but this is hell. And these are a lot of allegations, and they're very, very descriptive. Yo.
JP told her and, quote, preached on Sunday that if she did not submit to his every request for sex in any manner he desired, then it was her fault if he got his needs fulfilled by another woman or man. The allegation list continues. JP slashed 5 of her car tires. JP would take her purse and keys to prevent her from leaving the house. One allegation reads, JP cheated on her many times. He sent nude pictures of himself to another woman. He paid a woman from church $10,000 to destroy a sexually explicit video of himself. He flirted with other women. He sexted and dated other women. He paid for sex from both women and men. These are all the allegations. And the last allegation reads, physical abuse without marks. JP finger punched her in the throat.
What?
He held her up against the wall by her throat and slapped drinks out of her hands. And in public, he snatched a plate of food from her and threw it.
What the
So
fuck?
these are all allegations that the family
That's a lot
posted.
of.
Yes.
And
That's a
they
lot of shit.
probably gathered this from different sources.
Yes, so allegedly Micah had journals that she would keep that the family are allegedly in possession of. And I'm sure Micah would tell them. I don't know how deep she would tell them because I'm sure she didn't want them to worry too much. And that's typical of
bro.
victims of abuse is you don't want to worry your family members. But I mean, it's coming from the family. I say allegations because, again, they haven't been tried in the court of law. But it's not like me trying to question a victim's story or anything. Now, the most terrifying one, leading up to her death, it stated that Micah would tell her sister, quote, "If I end up with a bullet in my head, it's not by me, it was JP." And that would be the exact manner that she is found dead. Allison, JP's ex-wife, would even state, on one occasion, while picking up our daughter, I observed holes in their walls, hinges off the doors, and pieces of paper taped to the wall with negative affirmations about Micah. I'm imagining Post-its of just mean, degrading things about Micah.
Bro, imagine having. Actually, don't imagine that. That is. Oh, I am so sorry, Micah. What the fuck, bro? Like, yo, this is supposed to be a pastor and everything, and he is the freaking devil. Like, bro. Oh my gosh. That was a lot of allegations and information. Fuck.
Randomly stuck around the house.
What the hell?
He would also take the podium during a Sunday service and almost allude to all the problems Micah has under what feels like a thinly veiled disguise as being a sermon. JP had a thing for mentioning his wife's mental health struggles to people around him, whether it's true or not. He would openly talk about what he thought of her mental health. Then one day, he gets up there and he says, "You know the thing about pride and mental illness?"
I think mental illness is probably the most horrible thing we can face in our bodies, and pride is probably the most horrible thing we can face in our spirits, and here's why.
When you're mentally ill, it's the one sickness you have that you don't know you're sick. And you have to trust people around you because you're saying, no, they're lying to me. They're telling me I need medicine. I don't need medicine. Because the thing sick is your mind. And your mind is what you need to realize that you're sick, but you don't know you're sick because your mind tells you you're not sick. And your mind is the thing that's sick.
So you telling me that you don't know that you sick, but you know that you sick, but you don't know that you sick. That's what you saying? Because you a sick motherfucker, bro. Like, for real.
Again, I don't know. I haven't looked into statistics, and I highly doubt that there would be valid statistics that I could quote. But I know a lot of people who struggle with their mental health, and I don't think any one of us refuses to take medication. I think most people who struggle with mental health want help. JP would also give these sermons based on the stories of his friends that he had this fellow pastor. He would talk about how his pastor was going through a divorce, that his wife just left one day. She was having an affair with one of his staff members. So in a day, the pastor lost his wife and his good friend, the staff member, all at once. Okay. Which it sounds like he's alluding to the idea that Micah is doing the same thing to him. When this is actually the exact thing that he did to his previous wife, Allison.
Like what?
Which, like, is this play about him right now? Because not only did he do this to Allison, but he's likely doing the same thing to Micah too. It's alleged that he was cheating on her with multiple different women.
And he's probably going to do it to his next wife too. Well, I don't know. He in jail now, so I think he's still in jail. That's what the documentary said.
But one of his affairs, like I said, the one with Susie Skinner, seems like a pretty well-known accepted fact. And then Micah gets admitted into a mental health facility. She states that her husband had involuntarily committed her. It's further alleged that during this time, while she was admitted to the hospital, he took her wallet and keys and her car and went through all of her personal belongings to get rid of any and all things that allegedly would be incriminating towards him that she might have been using and collecting to bring to the court. After
Bro, they need to put this nigga down. I ain't gonna lie. This is crazy.
being released from the hospital, Micah tries to file a police report that her husband stole her car, but a few things. JP alleges to the police that his wife has mental health issues, and usually during the holidays, she has these episodes where she will become manic, is what he says, and spend excessive amounts of money recklessly.
This is actually like anything coming out of his mouth saying like manic or crazy when there's literally a video of him on the ground talking about ants when there are no ants around him. You know, just stuck to the floor like Velcro or stuck to the grass like Velcro. It's very rich coming from JP.
He alleges that he took the car because he felt that she was going to sell it to fund these shopping trips, and he didn't want that to happen. Now, side note, he does make some crazy allegations. He states that Micah bought a gun, and he was scared that Micah was going to shoot him. He had been begged.
You should be scared, boy. What the hell? You threatening her family. Yeah. I would think that'd be common sense. Oh, I'm scared Micah gonna shoot me after I threatened. Like, what, bro? Should have shot your ass.
Asking all of her family and friends to help her, but according to JP, they refused. So he had no choice but to use his power of attorney to hospitalize her, is basically what he alleges. The police couldn't really do anything in this situation either. They told Micah that technically because they're married and haven't divorced yet, the car would be considered marital property, so he can't really steal property that he partly owns. Now, side note, a lot of Micah's family and friends will argue JP's claims, and they state that Micah did cut back on her meds. She was on medication, but because it was allowed in her medical regimen that she could reduce her 2 pills of lithium to 1. And the family demanded to see when Micah signed over power of attorney to JP. They allegedly kept pressing JP to show them the papers that she signed, but when he allegedly brought them to Micah's dad, they weren't signed or notarized. Which, if that's the case, that would mean that's not official documentation. But the family believes that JP would use these documents and somehow convince Micah that they were very real, and this is how he has power over her, complete and utter control over her.
This is sick.
Later, JP would go up to do another sermon. This is around the time that she's in the mental hospital.
And when was that? Like years ago?
No.
2023?
Yes. 2023 or 2024.
When my wife went in the hospital, I looked at her phone and I counted over the past 2 years, 18 people who had texted her and said, if you ever want to talk about your husband, you can talk to me and say anything and I'll keep it confidential.
Why the heck does somebody want to hear what somebody else says about their spouse?
And 18 people text her?
Yes, which I don't know why he is proudly saying this, because that means 18 people feel like your husband is alarming and I want to help you.
This guy is so good at spinning everything around into...
I don't even think he's good at that. Like, he's just, I don't, like, people are just believing him.
His favor.
Like, I don't even know how, like, I don't know how, bro. It's probably just because he's a pastor and people, like, just think, like, what the fuck? Like, oh, gosh.
Yeah, allegedly.
Yeah,
well, it's an opinion.
Yeah, like he does. Like everything you hear is like,
yes,
he's just preaching about whatever he want to preach about.
I still ain't heard no Bible verse yet.
He literally frames it like this. You're not even ready. Why the heck does somebody want to hear what somebody else says about their spouse?
He's like, he doesn't think he's...
No.
There's no problem with him. Everything is like, no, you're the problem. You're the problem. You're the problem.
And he has a southern accent, and he does have that pastor cadence. This very authoritative... And then where you maybe even listening, you're like, okay. And then afterwards, you're like, what did he just say? Like, that doesn't even make sense. He says,
why the heck does somebody want to hear what somebody else says about their spouse?
Gosh, damn, that nigga's voice is terrible. Fuck.
And 2 of those 18 were men. If someone wants to call you and say bad things about somebody else, that's a demon talking to you. And the only way to respond is with the word of God. Because see, demons love words that line up with what they want. They cannot stand the word of God.
And he keeps bringing God too, all the time.
Yeah.
In his favor.
It's not a demon talking to you. It's 18 concerned people that see red flags in JP.
I.e. guardian angels. Like figuratively. You the demon, Nick. You are the demon.
And are worried for Micah.
Yeah.
He also states, last year, my wife, they went to Africa and had a wonderful trip, amazing trip. I believe it was like a mission. And she came back with the idea to start a school in Africa.
And 6 weeks ago, she goes in the hospital, gets out, and just leaves. Just completely leaves me, leaves everything, drains the bank account, and goes. And guess what?
Why the fuck are you talking about this in church? Cuz, oh my gosh, are you not embarrassed? Like, shit. I don't know, I wouldn't do this. I would just thought, like, what if I just raise my hand and be like, hey, what did you do? And why is this happening to you? Like, why don't you leave? Oh no, because God don't like divorce.
You're talking bad about me out there. I'm building a school in Africa for over 100 kids to be able to be fed. I'm just doing that. I'm doing the work. Now listen, I'm hurting more than I've ever hurt, going through so much pain you can't imagine.
The congregation starts clapping. Listen, I'm hurting more than I've ever hurt before, though. So much pain you can't even imagine. Last week, I have somebody that's going to donate a plane to our church for me to be able to fly from Florida to Tennessee, North Carolina, and Georgia, for me to go and preach at other churches. Because listen, God gave me the idea that I don't care about other churches. I care about other pastors. And for some reason, I can develop a sermon on tithing. Again, giving money to the church. On gossip, on strife, on supporting your pastor, and I can say things to the church that will bless the pastor. So now I'm getting invitations to speak at other churches all over the states around here, and we get a free plane I can go around in. So while you're talking about me on Facebook, look up in the sky and you'll see a Solid Rock logo on a plane. That's me going to Miami.
I don't give no fuck about you going no damn Miami. When you talking bad about me on Facebook, look up in the sky and look at me on Air Solid Rock. All right, so when I'm typing on Facebook, I'm gonna be like, oh, look, I just looked up and there's JP on Solid Rock. Fuck. What?
So he's talking this to the whole church.
Yeah.
Like
about
what, bro?
Micah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And the whole congregation burst into cheers.
Yeah,
This is
so
crazy.
imagine like what kind of power imbalance this is, and how would she feel to know that this is what he's publicly talking about her.
Yeah.
think I'm
This
in
is,
fucking
again, I do
Twilight
want to
Zone.
mention, this is not representative of Christianity. I myself have a bit of religious trauma, but this is like so unhinged. If you hear about a pastor talking about a private plane ever, I think it's time to switch churches.
Agreed.
It's
Agreed.
just, even if it
Agreed.
was donated or whatever, it's very alarming. Micah posts a video on Facebook, and if you just see these videos of him up on that stage preaching, and then you see the videos of Micah, it's so different. The way they carry themselves, the words that they use, the type of message that they're trying to spread. Micah posts a video on Facebook.
So today my heart's a little heavy. I've had a lot of women that have reached out to me about situations of abuse. And I just want to tell you what a lot of people have told me lately, and reminded me, because I think I forgot. I knew, but I pushed it in the back of my head just because of my situation. But you are the bride of Christ. Before anybody else's bride, male or female, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what gender you are. Abuse is abuse.
Yeah.
And my Bible says that he took all the abuse you could think of for you, so that you didn't have to live that life of slavery and bondage and pain. Jesus took it all for you. So you don't have to stay in a abusive relationship, whether that's sexual, whether that's somebody forcing you to take illegal drugs, or alcohol abuse, or physical abuse, psychological abuse, making you think that this is all your fault, or you're a bad mom, or you're a bad wife, or you're a bad husband, or you're not giving it your all when you know you are. God hates divorce, but why? According to everybody I've asked and the scriptures that I've found, it's because it hurts people. But does abuse hurt people? How do you think God feels about that?
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, oh my gosh. Rest in peace to Micah. And also, I do feel like I just want to say, because I know some of y'all be like telling me about like me talking about Jesus and stuff like that. Again, I am sorry for people who go through any religious trauma, or come across people who try to use God as a way to justify why they're shitty people. Like, I'm sorry that you have to come across this way. That's why I do think it's good to call out people who bastardize like scripture and stuff like that, to try and just do something like what JP is doing. Like, it's just, oh my gosh. I'm sorry for anyone who comes across people like that, or I'm sorry for anyone who just like, I'm sorry that I apologize if you're, I guess, if you have any types of trauma towards religion, because the people that be doing that shit, bro, that is a broken AC room in hell for you, because that shit is bro.
Seems
no
like
good.
the way he uses, in my opinion, the way he uses the Bible is very for himself to confirm his actions and beliefs and choices. Yeah. And the way Micah uses it, and I'm not religious, but she is trying to find wisdom and trying to find strength in the Bible, which is how it should be used. Right. And she's trying to uplift people with her faith. It's very different.
Yeah.
April 9th, Micah posts a picture of herself on Facebook. And the caption reads, "When terrible, terrible, terrible things happen to you," y'all know what I'm talking about. RPF, resting peace face. Hashtag still blessed. Hashtag God is good. And that would be the last picture she ever posts.
Oh my gosh.
Micah files for divorce October 2023. The divorce is dismissed February 2024. Micah is filing again, but this time for legal separation. So it's very different from a divorce, but just like we're still legally married, we live separately. But it does seem like, or at least it appears from the outside, that Micah just wants to be free. She wants to move on with her life. She even reaches out to Allison, JP's ex-wife, and leaves her a 47-second voicemail where she says,
"Hey, it's Micah. This is my new number. Please don't give it to anybody, but I just wanted to see who your counselor was to help you, walk through forgiveness and stuff, and keep your heart right through all the mess, because I don't want to lose myself in this, and I don't want to pursue anything out of anger or vengeance or anything like that. I just want to be free and have peace and keep my soul right. So, if you could text me a name that I'm a good counselor, I greatly appreciate it. Thanks."
Oh my gosh, bro.
Micah's separation papers were served to JP April 25th, 2024. April 27th, 2024, she would be found dead in the water. Micah's family have alleged that when they found out about Micah's death, it was from a text message from JP. The text allegedly reads, "This is what happens when you try to encourage someone to divorce the person they love and tell them that they don't need medicine and that they're not ill when they are. Good job, Francis family."
Bro, this nigga is psychotic. Like, this is... Thank you, Sierra. Thank you. Somebody
the family alleged that he starts texting about 100 people that night that she passed, and people start blowing up Micah's family's phones, and that's how they knew.
Wow.
Side note, even the way he announces to the congregation that Micah has passed is very bizarre and has gone viral. He doesn't seem to give time to Micah's family to let people know. I mean, just the day after Micah is found, he goes up there and allegedly gives a full sermon. And at the end, he says,
"We're not going to do an altar call today. Instead, I'm going to have you stand up and I'm going to make an announcement."
Bro, I'm not. This was the most bizarre thing I saw, bro. In the doc, like they showed, I guess like the beginning of the church, and like I was just looking at his face. He did not look like phased at all, and it's just like, what is he gonna say? And then he just says this.
And after the announcement, I'm going to ask that you leave church quietly and don't talk about the announcement here in the building, please, if you can, so y'all can stand to your feet. Before I make the announcement, I also want to say that my request to you is that you will continue to come to church and serve and give for the next little bit, because I don't want to have. I'm taking a little bit of a break, and I don't want to have to worry about the church. My break may be a few days, a few weeks, I don't know. I got a call late last night. My wife has passed away, and it was self-induced, and it was up in North Carolina. And we're going to have a funeral for her next Sunday here at 3 p.m.
You heard what he said, right?
And so it's all I can, I'm just kind of going on adrenaline right now. So y'all pray for me and my kids and everybody. And she wasn't, y'all knew that she wasn't well mentally. And that she...
The whole thing is just so bizarre, because it's like, why the fuck would you say it was like, it's just, you don't have no respect for your fucking wife, bro. Like, all that shit, he's just talking to the congregation. It's like, yo, why would you, like, I wouldn't, I can't even hear I wouldn't even think to even say something like that. Like,
needed her medicine that was hard to get to her.
It was such an emotionless, bizarre announcement.
Yeah, bro. What the
Sunday,
fuck?
May 12th, 2024, JP holds a memorial for Micah at the Solid Rock Church. Her family does not attend. He says during the memorial service, while showing a slideshow of Micah, it's just weird. Netizens feel like he's complimenting his wife, but almost not. He would say things like, she'd get a tourist to take our picture, and I say, okay, thank you. And she said, oh, no, this isn't good. Give it back to them. And they do it again, you know. But she's so creative. Everything she did was creative. What's the next picture? Next picture. She'd stop. We'd be on the way to like a show or something, and she'd stop. Oh, I gotta get a picture. I said, we're gonna be late. And she said, I don't care. Paraphrasing, but again, just kind of weird, right? He would also talk about how she loved tattoos, but he didn't. She wanted to skydive and do all these dangerous things, but he had to think about his kids. He also compliments her in ways that I just don't feel like...
He has to think about his kids, but allegedly he's using them to try and get Micah back. Yeah.
Are nice during a time to celebrate somebody's life. He would compliment her on how beautiful she was to look at, how she took care of him, dressed up as Wonder Woman for him because he loves comic books, took care of the kids, things of that nature. Mm-hmm. He continues, I can't even, if I had 10 hours today, that wouldn't be enough time to tell you all the great things about her and what it was like to be in an intimate relationship with her. You know, I can still hear her voice and I can still picture her just walking in the front door, and she was a great stepmom. She did so much work with the kids all the time. She was the one that would always pick them up from school and get their food, and she takes my daughter all the time to get their nails done or go to Lululemon. You know, all the special girly things, you know, and I appreciated that from the very, very beginning. Not once she ever complained about me having 5 kids, and this is my favorite video of her. And he plays a clip of her singing, and he starts doing this odd combination where he's laughing and crying, where he's like, like, it's really, I don't know how to describe it. I can only play it for you. It's just weird.
He really looks like Chris Watts.
Imagine being married to that. It was like that in our house all the time. Y'all eating. Pastor Randall's going to close in prayer.
Side note, he does mention trying to resurrect her from the dead while visiting her body. He also states, it really hadn't hit me, you know? As Christians, of course, we know she's not here and she's in heaven and she's, you know, worshiping and enjoying and probably hadn't even had time to look down here yet. But,
I got this lay next to her body and spent time with her body about 4 times this week, and each time it still didn't hit me. I thought she was going to wake up, you know. I even tried to raise her from the dead one time this week. And
actually, that morning, I went to the mall later, and she bought me this dog tag, and the chain had broke, so I went to the mall to get it fixed, and I saw a female about 20, 30 feet in front of me, and she was wearing one of Micah's dresses, and she had the same tattoo Micah has on her arm and the exact same hair, and it was just out of instinct. I screamed, Micah!
I screamed, Micah! And the girl turned around, and it was one of her sisters. And I thought I raised her from the dead. She's alive, you know. But I can't wait to see her again one day.
Yeah.
Like, mentioning her sister, like, this dude is crazy, bro. Oh my gosh, I could not imagine the anger that her family is feeling, bro. Like, what the hell?
Does he look sad?
No.
He looks.
In my opinion, no. He looks like he loves performing on stage.
No, for real. Like, this is...
Yeah, if you told me, Stephanie, imagine a pastor who goes up on stage to hold the memorial for his wife, even if it's a celebration of life, this is just not what I would expect at all.
How many people was in that church? Like, how many people was in the seat?
Yes, prior to all of this happening, it was said that he had 2 sermons on Sundays and a total of around 700 people would come.
Whoa.
Yes, his church does well. The church's assets are estimated to be close to $6 million. I believe they hold real estate. They have that plane that's almost $500,000.
Whoa.
Yeah, and it's alleged that he controls most of the church funds, if not all. Like, it's his church.
So he's powerful.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he's well known in the area. Now, it gets weirder. Apparently, JP wrote Micah's obituary, and it was a weird read. It's been condensed, but it reads, she and JP have been friends since 2009, married in 2017, and spent almost every single day and night together. She truly served Jesus and her husband with all her heart. She would praise her husband after every church service, telling him he was the best preacher in the world, even if it wasn't true. She also told him he was the funniest preacher in the world, even though that wasn't true either. Micah loved her family so much, which is kind of an odd obituary portion to begin.
Yeah, well, hold on. I was about to say, what the hell happened to this? She is survived by sisters, brothers, aunts, uncles. You can keep talking about this damn husband. She didn't even want you to be her husband no more.
In my opinion, but it also fails to mention that Micah filed for legal separation and he was just served papers 48 hours prior to her death. It's just weird. He would also later say in an interview with ABC 15 that she was probably the greatest wife anyone could ask for. She was incredibly affirming. We spent every night together for hours just talking and talking. But Micah's family hearing this, they don't believe a single word of what he's saying. They remember before she died, she told them, if I end up with a bullet in my head, it's not me, it's JP.
Right.
When JP was 19 years old.
This nigga on freaking, we get into more JP lore. This dude is on ABC just lying, bro. Not ABC, whatever that news channel she said.
He did something very sinful. He was indicted on charges of assault and battery of a high and aggravated nature. According to the Myrtle Beach Sun News, JP hit a 19-year-old girl twice with his car while driving high speed. It sounds pretty intentional, too. Apparently, he was driving through a neighborhood where a lot of residents were out sandbagging their homes. That means putting out bags of sand so their lawns don't get flooded during hurricane season.
Okay.
Allegedly, there was a ton of road closed signs on the street, but 19-year-old JP is said to have put black tape on his license plate and started driving his truck down the road.
Why?
This is when a 19-year-old girl that's helping her family sandbag their house tells him, slow down. And he hits her and continues to drive for about 300 feet. He finally slows down to the point where she's able to safely roll off. And then he just flees the scene.
Is she okay?
The 19-year-old girl stated she suffered from severe, painful, and permanent injuries.
Oh my
JP was arrested. His bond was set at $5,000, but he was released the same day. Eventually, he received a suspended sentence of 4 years, 3 years probation, 500 hours of community service, and an order to pay court fees. In 2022, he received a pardon for his conviction. Now, Allison, JP's first wife, would state his affair with Micah was not the most alarming thing during their relationship. The cheating wasn't even the biggest issue. The big issue was JP confessed to Allison and even some of the other church members that he was, 1, addicted to hiring sex workers, and 2, he allegedly admitted to being sexually inappropriate with several underage girls from their church.
All right, bro. Like, how? No. Stuff like this be pissing me off. That we get like more information about how fucked up somebody is after they're like, oh my gosh. Remember when I be talking about like the timing of stuff and like how people can get off certain types of things with time? My nigga, what the fuck? And this was just like rolling around the church?
He would later tell some of the church members that this is all because he himself was abused sexually by his own dad. The church decides to forgive him for illegal acts that he committed against other people, which I don't know how you have that kind of jurisdiction. But they said, we will forgive you as long as you undergo an extensive sexual addiction program. He thought it was silly, and he did not follow through with it. And apparently this, with the divorce of him divorcing Allison for Micah, caused a massive scandal in the church. The church members start splitting off, leaving to new churches, branching off in their own congregation. And he allegedly told the remaining church elders that there's nothing they can do to him. This is his church, and he's got 100% authority. Allison said, after JP informed me that he had been inappropriate with minor female members of our church and disclosed to me the identity of these girls, I immediately contacted them to encourage them to come forward. Although they each shared with me detailed accounts of what JP did to them, they were too scared to make a police report or testify in court. When I learned they were too fearful to report JP, I went to the police department for the purpose of making a statement and requesting an investigation. However, I was in essence told by police officers that nobody would believe me because JP was a well-known pastor and we were in the middle of a divorce.
All right, bro. What the fuck is... I could see how JP thinks he's this powerful. Like, cuz. Oh my gosh. The police said that to you?
On the testimony of the victims, there was little else I could do to prove that JP had done this and ensure that he was held accountable.
Bro, this is insane, bro. Like, I know that be happening sometimes, but hearing it in this moment is just like, what the fuck? Is it nobody gonna believe you anyway? Cause he's powerful, bro. That has to be the scariest shit to even hear. It's like, what can you do? You gotta shoot him. He needs to be stopped.
It seemed that at that moment, Allison felt like, again, there was nothing she could do, and she still has to co-parent with this guy.
Oh, gosh.
Allison has asked the court to give her immediate full custody over their children after Micah's death. She states in that document, so this is very recent, that JP has exhibited increasingly unstable behaviors, failed to provide a safe and stable environment for the kids, and has exposed the children in incidents of domestic dispute, which have been traumatic for the kids and just overall not in their best interest. She states that JP's mental health has increasingly deteriorated. And it's very interesting because JP keeps yapping on about Micah's mental health, but a lot of those close to him have major concerns for his. I don't see many people coming out with major concerns that they had for Micah's mental health.
It was only JP
Obviously,
doing that.
she's going through a lot with the whole separation from JP, but nothing indicated, at least that the public knows about as of right now, any sort of ideations, dark thoughts, any sort of major depression. Not even episodes of manicness that he keeps describing.
Like, I would imagine, like, for someone to say, bro, if I got a bullet in my head, it was from JP, and then JP is over here saying, nah, she needs her medication, she used all this other stuff, I got power of attorney, all these other things. Like, I feel like people can deduce, well, what could be going here, or at least have those things like, I would say if you're, like, not minding your business, but, like, it's just like, this is
Nobody has come out to say, oh yeah, she definitely had those. I remember those. Which, side note, the ex-wife isn't the only one that's concerned about his mental health. JP even stated in a sermon that he was having a horrible time, that he himself is on 900 milligrams of lithium, and he's seeing a counselor every week, and he can't even get out of bed.
What does
he
lithium
said,
do?
quote, I have unforgiveness, hatred, and demons coming out of me. Horrible. I'm in such a bad place.
Oh my gosh.
He said this before Micah died. Allison states sometimes he wouldn't even visit the kids because he would tell her he's not mentally well enough to take care of the kids right now. She said his behavior patterns were becoming increasingly erratic, irrational. The filing is 11 pages long, and Allison's main points are he uses having joint custody over the kids as a way to control and threaten Allison. Based on information she's received, she believes JP makes a lot more than he says he makes, and she would like to modify the child support agreement in place. She states the kids don't feel comfortable under his care. She said JP would preach sermons on the Sundays. Our children were with him and present in the congregation, disparaging Micah and indicating she has mental health issues and eventually putting her in a mental hospital. The children were subjected to JP calling Micah crazy one day and then her being back in their home at the next visit with their father assuring them that she was fine. Allison also states that JP's mental health started deteriorating, or, quote, spiraling out of control after Susie's husband drowned in the pool. She said, he informed me he was getting into buying guns and shooting. He had purchased a gun safe for his home, and as a convicted felon, he is not allowed to have weapons. However, he managed to get a police chief from the church to assist with expunging his record.
You could do that? Like, what?
Apparently, the police chief also gave him a special police badge that instead of police, I guess it says pastor. So if he ever gets pulled over, he would likely flash it to the cop, and most likely they'll let him go.
Yeah, we need to be careful of who we give power to. Because what the hell? Because, nah, son. Nah, bro. What the heck?
So this is all ex-wife. Ex-wife is saying the police is involved in this.
Yes.
Fuck.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Like,
yes.
for her to go against the police department.
Yeah.
Like, that says a lot.
I don't know if she's going against them.
Not going against, but she's exposing this information.
Yeah, expose some of that. Put some of that in it. Put a little salt on that right there. We need some of that flavor because that would kind of give more reason as to how he's able to get away with shit like this.
Information, right?
Yes, but it's not. I don't think it's not necessarily a crime to help expunge someone's record. You can apply to get it expunged at any point.
Yeah.
But to have a police chief involved in the process is definitely going to make it easier, in my opinion, right? And so for her to state that in the affidavit is, I think, interesting, though.
Yeah. Yup.
Yes. Now, side note, JP wasn't allowed to have his underage daughter over at night. He was only allowed to have daytime visits with his underage daughter. which JP kept telling Allison that he prayed she would change her heart about that choice. One text message
Why is he always praying for other people to do something? Why can't you just pray for yourself to stop being fucking crazy? Pray for yourself to just stop. Like, pray for you to look up and realize why you can't see your daughter after a certain hours. Just look up, pray for a third eye or something, or 20/20 vision. Why are you praying saying, I'm going to pray that this person does this, I'm going to pray that this, I'm going to pray that, well, pray for yourself. Damn. Shit.
Into the affidavit by Allison reads, "You can't have normal privileges because you have committed terrible crimes of sexually molesting underage children. Praying for my heart to change is absolute gaslighting." Ultimately, Allison states in the filing that if they continue to share joint custody over the children, she believes it'll be detrimental to the safety of both her and the children, and she believes Micah. She says, "Micah began calling me for advice on how to free herself from JP and for guidance to counselors and people to assist her. I prayed with Micah and did all that I could to provide her with sound advice and guidance. Micah shared information with me about the things that my children were exposed to while in the care of JP and warned me that my children were in danger while in his care. I have tremendous concern about the safety and welfare of our children while in the care of JP, especially now that Micah is no longer present. I was married to JP for 16 years. Although my story and what I lived through with JP is different in some ways, many of the details shared with me by Micah are so similar to my own experiences with JP, I know she was being truthful." Another part of the affidavit from Allison states that she does not want her children to be around JP's father in any capacity, which is very interesting to state. This is their grandfather, but JP's father has been slightly vocal about this case. He sent a 900-word document to the Daily Mail alleging that Micah's mental health problems were severe, but it's all being covered up to protect her memory. He alleges that her family is in denial of such mental health issues and that she is, quote, a very, very, very sick woman.
What about all the things that your son is doing? Oh, that's not in that 900 words, 900, whatever the fuck. Okay.
Which I feel like you can't really throw stones without checking the foundation of your house first. Reginald Miller, JP's father, was once charged with labor fraud, visa fraud, and failure to pay minimum wage. He was accused of turning his Bible college into a forced work camp. He served 15 months in prison after his arrest. Additionally, his very questionable past allegations where he has been accused of making sexual advances towards men whose wives were in Bible study. When he was asked later about the claims against him, he just said, allegations are allegations. Okay, same goes here. Allegations are allegations.
Yeah, like what?
We can talk about it.
Yeah.
Speaking of, there are allegations or theories that JP was stealing donations intended for the church and its charitable activities. No. And he was taking them for personal use, allegedly. But
my goodness, bro.
I don't know. There are also other allegations that he just ran his church very peculiarly. He has a very, he really likes tithing. I heard it come up a lot in his sermons, meaning giving a percentage of your income to the church.
Gotta love when the church start talking about that. You gotta pay attention to how they talk about it. That's one of my indicators of discernment. I know I'm supposed to tithe 10%, but you talking a lot about money. You just it's just like one of those things where you talking a lot about it. Why are you talking a lot about it? You know, it's one of those things.
Some former members allege that if you tried to leave the church or if you disagreed with him, he would harass you, spread rumors about you, and make you a social pariah amongst all the other local churches in the area.
You mean like in? Never mind.
Again, I've never been part of his church, so I can't tell you definitively. Soon after Micah's death, a series of Facebook posts start circulating. All people who claim to have connection to Micah and JP start sharing their stories. These Facebook posts are other individuals and their thoughts and feelings and versions of events. So we cannot verify them, obviously.
But they're real people, right?
Yes. Right. One friend that spoke to Micah the night that she passed, or the night before she passed, said on Facebook, "I will not sit here and pretend that I know exactly what happened, but I know a lot. And I'm well aware in the past that Micah has had mental health issues, and I witnessed her struggle firsthand. The Micah I witnessed last month, I was seeing a grown woman trying to break the chains of an abusive marriage. When I talked to Micah last, she was making plans, moving forward, and trusting God. Her faith was her shield. She had reconnected with people that she had been isolated from, myself included. She was sorting out her new normal. She was making plans to get a haircut. She was a woman making plans to live."
I feel like I feel very Well, my heart goes out to the people, like the morning, like, okay, sorry. It breaks my heart that when in a time where Micah should have been saved, but it was so hard that because she just, this man just keeps hovering over this evil cloud and just always being there and everything. And to hear like, you know, opinions and thoughts or just like testimonies about how good Micah was and how it seemed, it's like my heart breaks for the fact that it was first talking about prevention to save Micah. Now we're talking about like remembrance and justice for Micah. Like it really like hurts my heart, bro. Like this is so just, she did not deserve this shit, bro. Like, oh my gosh.
I was so overwhelmed seeing people on the news last night trying to minimize Micah by painting her as mentally ill. Another person close to the couple posts on Facebook a statement that reads, "What I'm about to say is my deep-hearted opinion. However, some stuff will be things that I've personally experienced. I've said it from the beginning, JP doesn't have the guts to kill anyone. If you truly know him, then you know that his biggest game is stalking, manipulating, and brainwashing. He is the one who will hand you the gun and dare you to do it, or the one to place it on the counter when he knows that they are at their lowest." Just listing examples here. I'm not saying he did or didn't have something to do with it at some level, or that he pushed this sweet soul to the point that she felt like she had no other option. It's heartbreaking. It's nauseating. I can promise you this, JP is smiling. He is thinking that he is not at fault. He is thinking that this will blow over and that he will build his new church and he will have another brainwashed congregation to follow him. He is a narcissist at its finest. Don't stop speaking out. He will make someone's life a living hell until they feel that they can't escape it. I've personally witnessed many situations in over 30 years that I've known him. I've stood up to him in his lies and we've had multiple disagreements. I've always said that JP was scared of me because he doesn't know how to handle a woman or a man who calls him out on his who doesn't fall for his manipulating techniques. He's a weak man with a brilliant ability to manipulate and brainwash.
He's a pussy.
A woman claiming to be JP's ex posted on Facebook. Again, this is a claim, an allegation. But she posted, "I am an ex of John Paul Miller. I was 14 years old when he was 19 years old. I was a child at the time, but I didn't see an issue. But at 19, obviously, he should have. We dated for a year, and I found out that he was dating his first wife, Allison, while we were together. All unbeknownst to her. She later found out and lied about it as he continued to do about the multitude of infidelities the remainder of their marriage. This has been hard to watch and keep quiet about, but I feel like it's time to be transparent." She states in her post that JP reached out to her after Allison left him when she found out that he was cheating with Micah. And she said, he was not remorseful of his actions. He was upset over the amount of people that left the church, and that hurt him financially.
And that's
Soon after, another woman comes forward. A woman with text message conversations with JP. She's actually not a member of the church or a friend of theirs. She works for a restaurant that JP visited February 23rd, about 2 months prior to Micah's death.
Fool, he is literally terror. You know that meme of I think it's the Grim Reaper going through different doors? Like, that's literally who this person is. Like, he's just terrorizing the world.
He left almost a 50% tip and wrote his number underneath the little signature portion with a big smiley face. And the text message reads, allegedly from JP, "I think I need a bikini pic of you." She has no idea he's married. She just responds, "LOL, I don't know if I really have any." "Come on." "Okay, no bikini then." Winky face, meaning just naked then.
Ew.
She responds, "LOL, I think most of the time when I'm in a swimsuit, I'm also in a mermaid tail." It seems like maybe she had a side gig of being like a mermaid. I'm not sure. "Are any of my pics going through?" JP asks. "Nope." Do you have one with just the mermaid tail?" Smiley face. "Haha, I don't think I do actually. Give me something. I'm still trying to send pics." She finally sends a picture. She writes, "Okay, this one isn't bad, but that's all you're getting right now." Shy face. "Wow, you're super hot. I love it. Thank you so much." She asks him, "What do you do?" And he says, "Well, ...
I'm a pastor.
Question mark, LOL. "I'm a senior pastor of Solid Rock at Market Common, and I'm headmaster and founder of Faith First Academy. I'm going through a divorce due to my soon-to-be ex-wife. She is bipolar and schizophrenic and left town after she got out of the mental hospital."
Motherfucker, did we ask for all of that? I said, what do you do? why you keep doing this? Why you keep why you keep telling people about what's your wife going through and all this other shit? Stop. Like, what? First off, she didn't even ask all that. She said, what do you do? I am a pastor in this. That is it. Shut the hell up. Just shut up. Gosh. Putting everybody's business out there and shit. They didn't even ask for it. You just giving it. You just giving your ex-wife's business, or your wife that wants to divorce you business. Like, stop it.
For the 7th time,
Damn.
frowny face. I'm also owner of the Crocodile Rocks, which is like a piano bar at Broadway at the beach. Yeah, she stopped talking to him after that.
Stop talking to him
April
too.
30th,
Shit.
2024, 3 days after Micah's death, another
in
police
peace, yo.
report is filed. JP calls the police to state that the leasing agent would not let him into his deceased wife's apartment to collect her things. Now, why would he want to go there? Micah's family believed
To
that
get
JP was there so that he could get her diaries and journals and potentially any other documents that could incriminate him. According to an affidavit later filed by Micah's family, they state, Micah was gathering and sorting evidence that she had to bring to an attorney for filing divorce pertaining to his abuse, character, and his affairs, and associates that he paid off or blackmailed. Those documents, emails, files, etc. were removed from her phone, personal laptop, vehicle, and purse and never recovered.
My gosh.
Ultimately, the police have ruled Micah's death a self-exit. For a few reasons. The medical examiner does not believe there was any evidence of anything indicating foul play on her body. There is no reason for the authorities to believe that she was not alone at the state park when she died. And the one
Rest in
person
peace,
who
bro.
many believe has a motive, JP, has an alibi. He was seen in a sporting event about 3 hours away. Investigators said that they located multiple eyewitnesses who confirmed the pastor was at the event all weekend. His truck was seen en route from Charleston and back. But likely one of the most heavily weighed aspects is the 911 call. There was a call placed from the park.
Robeson County 911, what's the address of your emergency?
Hi, are you able to trace the location of my phone?
You don't know where you're at?
And National Park.
I have my location on. I think
gosh.
my phone, Find My iPhone is on. Lumber River State Park? Yeah, that's where I am. I'm about to kill myself and I just want my family to know where to find me.
Oh my god.
Okay, ma'am, just listen to what I'm saying, okay? Let me make sure I get the exact location where you are. Just 1 minute. That 911 call was placed before she passed. But still, a
Rest
lot
in
of
peace,
people,
bro.
including many netizens, feel like there's just so much more to the story. On solidrockmb.com, which I'm assuming is the church website, there's a little About Me section where JP writes a bit about him as the pastor. He writes, "We, your pastors, are very transparent. We are the exact same on the platform of Solid Rock as we are at home behind closed doors. What you see is what you get. We refuse to wear masks and play games. Rather, we keep everything out in the open. The whole truth is on display." JP has filed to seal all probate court documents involving his late wife, Micah. Which again, requesting to seal those records is not an admission of guilt. But Micah's family, the Francis family, have filed a petition to become the administrators of Micah's estate. There were concerns that JP was trying to manipulate his assets during the separation with Micah. Allegedly, Micah said that he was moving around assets so that in the event of a divorce, Micah would have nothing or a lot less of what she was entitled to. For example, their house that they lived in would likely be considered marital property. Well, he ends up selling the property to the church. Which Micah does not have control over the church's finances. And technically it's not his finances because the churches are nonprofits. But JP...
Kind of selling your house
Yeah.
to the church. What?
Yeah. JP is also
I didn't
said
even
to
know that
have
was
full
possible.
control over their bank accounts. I don't know if that's true, right? But the family wrote in the complaint, defendant Miller's supposed sale of the marital home to the church is believed to have been an attempt to defraud and deprive his wife from her fair share of the marital estate. It's also alleged that other investments were transferred to his son's name around this time. Which, side note, Micah's family also requested to posthumously change her name, drop her maiden name, or drop Miller, or go back to her maiden name, And JP has pushed back on this in court, which is so odd to me because they were already in the process of separating. She was filing for a legal separation.
He's still trying to possess her even posthumously.
Why would he need her to still be Micah Miller? It's such an odd thing to fight about. A lot of netizens think it's just ego. He just seems to be a very odd character, I think is the
prideful
nicest way
man.
to say it. Now, side note, according to Allison, JP's ex-wife, JP told the kids his plan was to, quote, sue everyone and become a millionaire.
Everyone as?
Social media people who talk about the case, allegedly. There are rumors online that he is hiring a PI or somebody like a PI to likely run background checks on people who talk about him on social media, I guess in ways that he does not like. So that's interesting. That's just a rumor as of right now, but very interesting. JP and his attorney have denied any and all involvement in Micah's death, as well as the abuse allegations. The attorney made a statement, the gist being, following the untimely death of Micah Miller, unfounded rumors and false accusations began circulating on social media and in various media news outlets, suggesting Pastor Miller's involvement in her demise. This created a buzz, causing local and national media outlets to begin proliferating these falsehoods on a mammoth proportion. Our client refutes any report that suggests he ever abused his wife. It has come to light that Micah Miller struggled with mental illness, specifically bipolar disorder, which when not properly managed led to paranoid episodes and self-destructive behavior. Again, Micah suffered from mental illness, and some reports made by her in the recent past are nonsensical. The statement also has a lengthy portion, basically saying that there are a ton of people on social media defaming JP, and they will take legal action against those people, etc., etc. But what theories are they talking about? What accusations?
Let's see.
Welcome to the theory portion of the video, where just like the rest of the video, I want to emphasize this is not a statement of fact. These are collections of sentiments, opinions, allegations, and questions that have been posted publicly online, and I've just compiled them for you to absorb the content quickly.
Right.
Nobody at all, at least as of right now, as of filming, is even considered a suspect in this case, meaning nobody is guilty of anything. So keep that in mind, and always consider that the internet likes to do what the internet likes to do, which is theorize and speculate. Which brings us to our very first theory. The theory that Micah self-exited, which is it's a theory shared both by law enforcement as well as some netizens at this time. This is her official manner of death, according to the ME and the police. Them plus a handful of netizens who have given JP the benefit of the doubt, as well as JP himself, have settled with this theory. It's argued the fisherman at the park that day heard only one gunshot go off. The pawn shop where Micah bought the gun had CCTV footage of the entire transaction. She was alone and did not seem to be forced to be there. The police found the receipt for the gun for the sale in her car. On paper, Micah allegedly had a history of mental illness, and according to some members of Solid Rock Church, they state they believe Micah had previous failed attempts at self-exiting.
Oh my gosh.
The only person that might have a motive to do something like this is usually, in most cases, the husband, but multiple eyewitnesses have come forward and have corroborated JP's alibi that Saturday at a sporting event. JP's truck was caught and time-stamped by traffic cameras 2 hours and a whole state away at the time of Micah's death. In Micah's phone, there were directions and multiple recent searches to the pawn shop where she bought the gun and to the park where her body was found. She bought the gun the same day. The one piece of the puzzle, well, I guess it's not really a puzzle to them, is basically a shut and done case for people who believe this theory. The one detail they always cite is the 911 call. Micah called 911 and said she was going to self-exit that day at 2:54 p.m. Police were dispatched to her location at 3:03 p.m. If Micah did not self-exit and there is foul play involved, wouldn't her alleged killers need more than 9 minutes to flee the scene? Wouldn't it be in their best interest that the police don't arrive at the scene until they're long gone? Not to mention, the netizens who support this theory claim Micah sounded very calm in the 911 call, that it would be virtually impossible to force someone to make a 911 call like that against their will.
Okay.
However, there are a lot of netizens that dispute the theory's main points. Disputing through arguments and anecdotal evidence or speculations. Again, nothing has been shut and done in the court of law. But netizens have argued back against this theory by alleging if the fisherman heard only one shot, that would be one thing. But the Francis family and a park ranger have reported that they've found multiple shell casings at the scene. Could it just be another case of faulty eyewitnesses, faulty memories, or even planted memories? Micah's family stated that there were multiple bullets found at the scene, and later it's going to be confirmed that there were 2 spent shell casings found near her and a live bullet, meaning 2 spent. They've gone through fire twice, which is not very common from what I can tell anecdotally of self-exit cases. Netizens agree that it looks like Micah goes inside and buys the gun at the pawn shop from the CCTV footage that is released. But a lot of people are questioning the CCTV footage. In certain frames of the CCTV footage, Micah has this hand tattoo of a cross, pretty big cross on her hand.
Yeah.
It's missing in the CCTV footage.
What?
So is her necklace that she was seen wearing the day of her death.
Nigga, what the fuck? Oh my gosh. What in the world? That's why I wasn't saying anything, because what possibly could be other theories? Oh gosh.
People think it's weird.
Wait, have you seen the footage?
Yes. I don't see the tattoo.
Is it very blurry footage or?
To me, it doesn't seem, because even if it's blurry, would you not still have a blurred outline?
So they're saying this footage is questionable.
Yeah, there's no tattoo. It appears there's no tattoo.
Okay.
Remember Micah's 911 call where she says she wants her family to know where to find her? She made the call and then walked from her car and the parking lot where her black Honda was found into the trails of the forest and off the beaten path. Which some netizens feel defeats the purpose of making that call to begin with. And sure, Micah had a history of mental illness, but that is according to JP. Her schizophrenia, mania, playing chess with people who aren't there, that's what JP alleges, right? That's all what he alleges. In an interview with Anna Francis, Micah's sister, Anna claims that JP was actually the one who had been on schizophrenia medication for the past 20 years. She also states that at the end of Micah's involuntarily, held at the hospital, that the doctor, quote, at the end of that weekend where Micah was examined, and I'm pretty sure Faith Green apologized for it and said that she should have never been there. Everyone cleared her. She's completely sane, end quote. That's what the sister said. Netizens who don't believe Micah self-exited also cite that, sure, perhaps the chances of someone with past attempts of self-exit dying from self-exit are higher, but that doesn't mean the chances of them being murdered are lower. Especially in cases of speculated DV. If anything, that increases her chances of being murdered. And those netizens who aren't fully convinced that JP had nothing to do with it, that Micah did not self-exit, they bring up the netizen theory 2 and 3, which is that JP killed Micah or that JP was the sole driving force pushing her towards her death. Again, another quick, super brief legal disclaimer. At the date of this recording, there have been 0 official suspects nor persons of interest named by the authorities. Micah's death at the date of this recording has still officially been ruled a self-exit by the police and the medical examiner. The following details, little facts that have been pointed out or inconsistencies are all netizen speculation, and the source notes will be in the description. And all of this is public information available online. And again, just to cover all the bases, the police do not believe JP Miller was involved with the death of his wife. Alleged theory number 2. Pastor JP allegedly killed his wife, and using his authority within the church, he spun his own little narrative to cover up any traces of foul play. Netizens believe that JP has a motive to want to be single or to be free, and that motive, they allege, is Susie Skinner. Remember his alleged girlfriend and affair?
Yeah.
Susie Skinner's husband died in the pool. Susie and JP were spotted at a sushi bar just 4 days after Micah died. 2 seats down, a local recognized JP from the news and snapped the 2 pictures for proof. The 2 were having drinks and a bite to eat only 4 days after his wife died. Susie Skinner was also allegedly spotted on June 14th, 2024, with a tote bag slung over her shoulder, walking towards JP Miller's alleged truck, getting in, and the 2 of them driving off. Not only that, but netizens have noticed that the truck is parked on the street and not in the driveway. So they allege, it's kind of interesting if they weren't having an affair, if these are really 2 church members just trying to find comfort in each other, why would he park not on the driveway?
Wait, whose driveway? I'm so sorry.
Susie Skinner's driveway. He didn't park in the driveway, he parked on the street. It seemed like if they're not having an affair, why would he park on the street? Why can't he just park in her driveway and pick her up?
Okay.
I mean, that's a detail that I wouldn't have, I guess, thought of. But now that you say it, why would he do that?
Like he doesn't want to be seen, that he's picking her up?
Yes, which is, you only do that when something is weird, no? Typically?
According
to JP's
I don't know. I park on the street at my grandma's house all the time. But still, I don't like JP, so shit.
Wife's affidavit. 2 weeks before Chris Skinner's death on September 6th, remember Chris confronted JP telling him to stay away from his wife, Susie?
Mm-hmm.
The affidavit also states, quote, "It is chilling to know that the spouses of both Susie and JP are now dead due to tragic events."
Exactly.
Netizens are also questioning JP's alleged alibi. The police posted pictures of JP's truck in South Carolina as proof of his alibi on the day that Micah died.
You know what's been crazy? I was about to say, what if somebody drove his car and he drove another car? Like, is that not out the realm of possibility?
They even said JP was accompanied while traveling in the truck to South Carolina, so he's not alone. Netizens wonder, though, all the pictures the police provided show the back of JP's truck.
Yeah.
You can't see who's in the driver's seat, let alone in the passenger seat. The window tint is so dark you can't even see a silhouette of anyone in the truck. And again, there have been multiple witnesses that have come forward to confirm JP's alibi, but this is just netizen opinion. Okay. Some netizens' thought processes continue. Sure, JP's car has an alibi, but to some netizens, they feel like they haven't seen the proof that he was or wasn't in that car. What if he was driving a separate car that day? Netizens also questioned the police's report stating that they had eyewitnesses who corroborated JP's alibi. Because doesn't JP have connections to the police? Which is a very crazy allegation to make, collusion with the police. But netizens say, I mean, he does have friends in the police department. Not saying the police are lying, not saying that they're doing anything weird, but he does have friends.
Yeah,
I mean, remember that friend that gave him the pastor badge? The one that helped expunge his record?
I remember. The North
Some netizens
remembers.
question, hypothetically speaking, of course, if JP was able to successfully be pardoned, allegedly with the help of a police chief, what else can he get away with? Then another point made by netizens online is Micah had a necklace that she was seen wearing the day she died. Later, JP was wearing it in an interview with the local news, and people wondered,
This is freaky. This is freaky as fuck. I ain't gonna hold you. This is too freaky for comfort, bro.
how did he get the necklace if they were separated? People thought it was strange. JP would claim that they gave it to her after he went to see her body, and he said he immediately put it on to feel closer to her because she loved that necklace.
Sure.
Other people argue, doesn't that seem like something a narcissist would do when they had a hand in your death? It just feels very gross.
He's a gross man anyway.
Another reason that some netizens believe Micah did not self-exit is she did not leave a letter. According to her three sisters, brother, and father, and loved ones, she was a meticulous diary keeper. She loved journaling. She had started to keep a record of all the alleged abuse she was going through. Micah always loved Bible study, where not only do you read scripture, but you interact with it. You often write or discuss your interpretations. She committed things onto paper, typically in her daily life. So why would a self-exit letter be any different? Why?
That is a good thought process to think. Like, why specifically this is different? It's just so weird. It's too close. It's weird.
Would she not have one? Which obviously for self-exits, there is a lot of impulse involved. That is a factor to be considered typically.
Understandable.
But some netizens just said it just feels so out of character. But of course, there are also netizens who argue the points made by this theory. They argue, the biggest point or contention though, is that netizens who disagree with the theory is the CCTV footage of Micah buying the gun. They say CCTV footage is notoriously low resolution. So the tattoo that is supposed to be on her hand is probably just too small for the pixels to pick up.
I mean,
it was, it's like a rather thin cross, they said. Same goes for the disappearing necklace. The pixels are too small.
I can see
to
the
be
necklace.
picked up. You also need a valid state ID to purchase a weapon in South Carolina, meaning there's the world's slimmest chance that that footage was edited to look like Micah or that somehow a body double went in. The chances that the camera's resolution is bad is far more plausible. Okay. So with that, a sub-theory develops. The theory, not fact, pure internet speculation, is that JP killed Micah, but he hired someone else to pull the trigger and make it appear as a self-exit. Speculators say it would explain all of the confusion surrounding JP's alibi, because with a murder-for-hire plot, it doesn't matter where he is. It would also explain away parts of the 911 call, because if it was somebody that was hired to do a hit, allegedly, hypothetically, then it wouldn't really matter if they were just in the woods at the time that she died. They have no connection. There were kayakers, there were fishermen around. If they have no connection to Micah, perhaps the police wouldn't even look into it. It's a state park. The allegation is that somebody had threatened Micah, forced her to buy the gun, forced her to call 911 and say that she was going to self-exit.
What the fuck?
But that 911 call is a huge part of the case. People say that Micah is just way too calm, that there's no way someone could have forced her to fake a self-exit call like that. Well, Micah's father, Michael, did an interview with Law and Crime where he agreed Micah was way too calm. In fact, she was talking so slow, he even wondered if it was her. Michael suggested that his daughter's voice was created using AI. So this sounds really far-fetched, right? It sounds like a sci-fi movie.
Yeah, I was about to say, we getting into that. We really getting into this part? Okay. AI. Everything is AI. Just AI. Okay. All right.
But I personally guarantee you that if not now, one day we're going to start seeing AI interfering with investigations and being part of cases more and more often. Again, I'm not saying there's proof to that theory or trying to convince you of anything in today's case.
Hey, man, I'm putting my tinfoil hat on the other, if that possibility of that happening. I think that's happening. Do y'all think that's going to, I think it's going to happen.
There's no proof that AI was involved, actually. But I personally believe, in my opinion, that if AI can fake those kidnapping calls that are made to families by scam artists, then eventually, if not already, then one day AI will be present in more crimes.
Mm-hmm.
Another detail that netizens refer to in regards to their belief that...
I mean, shit, hey, there's some stuff where people use Chat GPT. It's starting.
Micah was murdered are the alleged bruises and self-defense wounds on her body. Micah's body was cremated. Yeah, that's a whole thing too. We're gonna get into,
didn't he?
But
okay, I was about to say he rushed.
Her family
to get her.
did go and see her body, and they stated that she had bruising on her wrist. I do know that the Emmy is saying that could have happened after her death, during pulling her out of the lake. Some people argue that and say that you actually can. It's very hard to form bruises when you're dead because your blood is no longer circulating. Now, the family has also claimed that JP made the parents approve cremation in order to see Micah's body. Anna Francis said, in order to see her, our parents, per John Paul, JP, our parents had to sign that she had to be cremated. So either sign it and do it easily so you can see her, or you just put up a fight and you don't get to see her anyway.
That's really weird.
Yeah, he will later refute this. It's a whole thing.
Man.
But the family said that they did take photos and videos of her body. And
bro, don't y'all think it's just a bunch of weird shit going on? Like, he just keeps doing weird shit.
Of what they believe were self-defense wounds. And of course, the pictures were submitted to the proper authorities and are currently being kept private as the investigation continues. As of June 25th, 2014, the North Carolina Office of the Chief Medical Examiner released a preliminary summary of the circumstances surrounding Micah Miller's death. Netizens that believe Micah did not self-exit, in their personal opinions, they do not believe law enforcement findings, and they believe this new release actually supports their claims. They point to Exhibit A, which reads, law enforcement recovered 2 spent casings and 1 live round on the bank of the river.
Right.
These are the casings that Michael Franzen had alluded to in his interview with Law and Crime. And now we have the ME's report that says that there were 2 spent, meaning 2 separate rounds of ammunition that were fired, and only 1 live round was found, meaning 1 unfired bullet was found as well. 2 things about this. Like I said, netizens argue that people who die by self-exit through firearm almost exclusively fire 1 shot, which is the fatal shot. Okay. The idea that a practice shot was fired, to the netizens, feel doubtful. They believe the blowback and the sound of a round being fired is almost always enough to rattle the person, especially when they're firing with a 9mm gun, which is what she had. It is no small dainty pea shooter. This is a common choice for officers in law enforcement as their go-to handgun. And number 2, right after the ME report states 2 spent and 1 live bullets, the document says, deceased was found prone, submerged in river, beside tree limbs, about 100 feet from the casings.
Oh my
People,
gosh.
netizens have argued that 100 feet is about the length of 5 giraffes stacked on top of each other, or 3 yellow school buses, roughly 2/3 the length of an Olympic-sized swimming pool. Now, there could be completely reasonable explanations for this detail, and this detail in itself is not alarming. But some netizens wonder, if the gun was fired on the riverbank, where the shell casings are found, and Micah shot herself, how did her body end up 100 feet away from the casings? Now, obviously, people are going to state, oh, the current of the river. But
it's
netizens
still,
that
right?
have been to this park recently and they've seen videos, the water seems almost completely still.
Right.
And the water is incredibly shallow.
Right.
They wonder, what are the chances that her body floated 100 feet away when there's almost no current?
Her body was found really quickly, no?
Yes.
I think somebody did it. I think somebody else did it. It's getting too weird for me. but I wanna be, sensitive to this too. Like, bro, what the fuck?
Again, this is not a fact. It's an opinion and question posed by netizens.
Mm-hmm.
And one final theory from our research, the most popular theory is the theory that Micah did die by self-exit, but that doesn't make JP Miller less guilty of killing her.
Right.
One netizen summed up this theory in a
terrorizing
comment on
her.
Reddit. When you have been groomed since 14 or 15 years old, when you have reached out to the police for help and no one is helping, your church is not helping you, when your spouse brainwashed you while grooming you as a child, and then makes you feel like you're crazy, and he puts you in an institution, he steals your car and puts a tracker on your car. You get to a point where there feels like there's no way out. It is not a woman's fault if she ends it all, when it was someone else that pulled the metaphorical trigger.
Yeah, she's correct. You were correct. Yes, you were correct. This nigga was not giving her no type of room to breathe.
Netizens also cite that the chances of the whole thing being a conspiracy with hitmen and a premeditated plot are highly unlikely compared to the chances that she did die by self-exit, but that JP should still be held accountable in some way.
Yes.
In most cases like this, I assume JP would release a statement through his attorney like he did and retreat to try not to stir stuff up and lay low. But no, he starts posting onto TikTok. These full-length videos are going to be linked in the show notes, but they have been condensed for length here. In one video, JP starts off by saying, "Greetings, everybody. I'm here to let you know that my silence is nothing more than wisdom and self-control, so we can win the war that is up ahead. I look forward to presenting over 350 people."
Fool, how are you pre-yapping before the yap?
Pieces of proof on what Micah thinks about her family and what Micah thinks about her lawyer and the things her lawyer's saying and the things that her family's saying.
Now, this has to be somebody that genuinely does not think that he is, like, this is somebody that genuinely thinks they're untouchable. Like, because what the fuck are you talking about? Like, oh my gosh.
And Charlotte and all these other people that are saying things.
He's still trying to
People
isolate
forget
her.
that Micah corresponded with me more than anybody else on planet Earth. And I know her heart, and I have her text messages, and we're going to disprove.
Turn your preacher voice off and get Spider-Man out of there. Why you do, like, fuck.
All the lies that are out there. And there's so many lies, it seems like everybody thinks the world is flat. And you ask them why, and they say, well, it says on the news the world's flat. Or, you know, Robbie Stinky Harvey said that it's flat. Or JLR Never Investigates says that it's flat. But when I get to court, I'm going to show you that the world is round. And you're going to be shocked at some of the things that you see that Micah says. And we're going to find out actually who is responsible for my wife's death. And Micah will have justice when it's all said and done. And I'm going to make sure of it. So thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you soon. God bless.
In another TikTok, he addresses the fact that he preached the day after his wife passed and the announcement he made of his wife's passing. And he basically says in the beginning of the TikTok that Micah allegedly wanted a very thick wedding band tattooed on her wedding finger. He says, so that when she was working out or when we were on vacation, when she didn't have a ring, she let everybody know that she was still married. That is not something that someone who is being abused does.
Nigga,
which
shut
I
up.
don't think, again, is factually correct. But that could be my cluttered brain. So the reason I preached the night after she passed.
Sorry, I shouldn't have laughed. That was that was a very terrible sermon that he said about the cluttered brain thing.
The night before that at midnight, I had 5 people in my house telling me not to preach. I would be crazy for doing it. I didn't listen. It's because at first I didn't believe it. I had spent the past 3.5 months doing everything I could to keep her alive. My goal every single day to find somebody to some way get her medicine, because I told them that she was going to commit suicide if she didn't get her lithium. And I went to her pastors, counselors, doctors, policemen, judges, friends, family.
She said if there's a bullet in her head, JP is responsible.
Roommates, everybody you could possibly think of, and nobody believed me. So to get that call that night that it happened, I'm sure you can imagine what a failure I felt, as well as this just can't be true. It became my worst nightmare. There's no way. And so I thought maybe the family was playing a trick on me or something. The other side of it was, I thought if it is true, I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to do anything. I want to just keep living my life as if it never happened, because I was not ready to believe that it happened. So the next day I preached. I was like a fool. And then I made my announcement for everybody to be quiet and leave, because like a moment of silence, like you do in respect. I did it like I didn't want anyone to be talking about or mental illness or asking me questions, or I just want them to leave and go talk to Jesus about it and then talk to me at some later date. I was not prepared to deal with any of it at all. I'm sure you cannot imagine what it's like to be trying your best to keep somebody alive and then find out they passed, and then how you handle yourself in the next 24, 48 hours. I don't think there's a manual on that. So if that offends anybody, I apologize, but I did the best that I could with what I had.
The audacity on this Chris Watts looking motherfucker, bro.
And God bless. Other allegations in his series of TikToks include he states that someone is making fun of him because he sniffs, but he says it's a tick that he's had since he was a kid, which I don't know.
What?
I'm just saying he says a lot of things, okay? He yaps a lot.
He really is a talker.
Yeah.
No, for real,
and just
yo.
like everything becomes such a woe is me, look at me, I'm so good. Everybody's evil. He said the whole case is actually about mental health awareness. He alleges and claims that Micah was diagnosed with bipolar 2 disorder, schizophrenia, dependent personality disorder. He claims that she had several of other diagnoses by different doctors at different times all throughout the last 7 years. He continues the 2 diagnoses that stayed every single year were schizophrenia and bipolar 2. He states bipolar 2 is when you're super high and you want to give away $1,000. The low is when you want to die. He said that she had ups and downs and it was a constant struggle, but they were getting through it. He further alleges, and he makes some wild claims about her mental health, which again, I can't say for certain if it's not true, but I imagine if her symptoms were this bad, that a lot of people would speak up and say so, or that she would have done other things that people would have stories about to share.
And also, there's literally nobody on JP's side. Like, bro, like this is literally the world against JP's words. And I guess maybe I don't even hear, I don't know about the congregation. They haven't really been saying anything, but the people who be speaking out are against JP.
Others must have noticed. He claims and alleges that Micah would play chess with people that were not there without a chessboard. Like imaginary people, imaginary chessboard. She would hear voices or talk to people who were not there. She would forget who she was, forget that she was his wife, forget who he was, forget that he was her husband. Sometimes she would forget her family. He claims that she was, quote, deep into the schizophrenia. And was delusional and accusing him of certain things like slashing her tires or sending a naked picture or stalking her or things like that he.
You mean what he didn't, what was one of the alleged stuff, or didn't he admit to sending a naked picture?
Claims he didn't do. Which, what about the email that he allegedly sent her apologizing? Anyway,
yeah, like
he
what?
Claims he found an Apple AirTag in his car in the truck that week, and he saw her popping up everywhere he went around the week. Remember that gas station video where she's like, walk away?
Walk away.
I'll show you the pictures.
Do you want to go to jail?
They'll be on Facebook in a few hours.
Alrighty, you'll be in jail in a few hours.
Look how far he's
Walk
walking.
away.
He's like recording her, and he tells her, and he's like, no, she followed me to the gas station.
As he's literally
like a
walking.
Spy. He says mental illness is sad. It's sad, but we managed to always find lightheartedness in life in spite of it, and we always got through it. I would do things like sometimes I would play into the delusion, pretend like I was a double agent who quit their job to marry this beautiful girl, and I'd have to show her our marriage license.
Okay, with all this yapping, now show what everybody else got with Micah. The words that Micah said. There's a reason why you can't get that damn diary. There's a reason why they wasn't let you in the house. So how about you talk about that? Instead of just like saying all this stuff about Micah. Like, bro. Wrong messenger, bro.
Alleged that her life was just so easy and perfect. He said, we worked very hard to keep her enjoying her life. She didn't have to cook a single meal.
Then why does she want to divorce you?
She didn't have to clean. She didn't have to work. She just had to take her medicine and enjoy life. He also alleges that he texted Micah's family offering to pay for all their travel expenses to come see Micah's body. He claims they asked for $2,500, but he gave them $3,500. He said within 7 minutes after the family cashed the check, they went onto Facebook to post about needing money for travel expenses. He claims he texted the entire family, quote, I'd love for you to come and see Micah's body. Here's the times that the funeral home says are best. They thumbs up the message, and about an hour after that, they posted on Facebook that I would not let them see Micah's body. Please help me understand that, is what he says. Now, again, he did not release these messages. So he didn't show the messages. He didn't release the messages. But this is what he's alleging.
On TikTok.
On TikTok.
On TikTok. Wow.
He's still talking on TikTok?
Oh, he's yapping. Oh, he stopped yapping. I think his attorney told him to stop yapping. But he was yapping.
I wonder if these will be brought up later.
Yeah. He continues, they said, I forced them to sign some cremation paper that I knew nothing about and had no idea what they were talking about. Days later, I was given this piece of paper that the mom and dad both signed saying they wanted Micah to be cremated, and they chose to have that, which I totally agree with because of the way that she passed away. I thought that was what was best, but nobody forced them to sign anything or anything. I don't even know about what they're talking about with that.
We don't
they
believe
said that I
you,
pushed for the
nigga.
cremation to happen quickly to hide things. The national average is 3 days because after that, the body starts to smell. Which I imagine
Talk
he
about
had to look
national
that
average.
up.
Yeah, I was about to say, how you know about the national average? National average? I didn't even know that was a point of contention in whatever this topic is. A national average. What the fuck? Wait, now you talk about averages. What?
Which is, again, very odd. But he continues, she was cremated 6 days after she passed away so that her...
Bro, he's literally like putting like little tidbits of like clues of what he can say, but like he already has this type of aura of being like one of them crazy quirky people. So it's like them that like, oh, what the hell you just say? Be like, that's just JP being JP, you know, like.
Her ashes will be ready for the funeral the next day. While the family was there, I told the funeral director, I said, let them know that I'll pay for all the urns that they want to keep the ashes in. I'll pay for the jewelry. This stainless steel cross, because he's wearing a stainless steel cross, has Micah's ashes inside. It's the only ashes I have. They have all the rest of her ashes. The funeral director called me and said the bill is going to be $18,000. I said, why? He said, they all picked out 24 karat gold jewelry. So I said, please call them back and let them know that if I'm paying, they got to get the cheap stuff. And it was still well over $10,000. But I didn't mind because the way you treat people was not based on the way that they treat you.
My gosh.
It's based on your own
Exhausting,
heart.
just exhausting
for real,
to listen
bro.
to him.
Yes.
Damn.
And so if you could help me understand the answers to those questions, I'd appreciate it. Thanks a lot. God bless. He continues, here we go, okay, all this is part B, I guess. The Francis family, Micah's family, said that there were bruises on Micah's body. There were none. I saw her body 4 times. I saw it once in the hospital, 3 times in the funeral home. The hospital that prepared her body for me to see it, the nurse and the medical examiner said there were no bruises. And Robinson County said there were no bruises. And the funeral home who washed her entire body and put her in pajamas for us to see her body said there were no bruises. So 4 independent parties say no bruises, but then you have the one who waited until days after she's cremated and there's no proof. They didn't take any pictures. They didn't tell anyone what they supposedly saw. They wait till later and say, hey, there were bruises on her body. Bruises on her body.
I thought they did take pictures.
Yes, from what I can tell, they did take pictures, but he's saying they didn't, yeah. He said, why in the world would we believe that? I literally don't understand the logic behind it. I don't understand it because let's say the Francis family came forward and said there were no bruises on her body. Robinson County said there were no bruises on her body. The medical examiner said there's no bruises on her body. The funeral said there's no bruises on her body. And then I step up and I said, guys, it's a lot.
Take a
hey,
break,
everybody,
Stephanie.
I saw bruises. I know I didn't tell you when it happened. I know I didn't take a picture. I know I waited until after she was cremated, but I saw bruises on her body. Would you believe me? Then in another video, which is probably more widely talked about, first off, JP starts the video early on by stating that Micah's mom was married multiple times. Okay. Nobody cares.
What?
The way he brings it up is very strange and disrespectful, and I imagine because of his religious background, he thinks that people will draw connection. I think he thinks people will draw connections to Micah's personality and her character based on the amount of marriages her family had.
But
that is crazy.
Yeah. He goes on to say, Micah, my wife, had 7. I think her mom's married 7 times. Michael Francis is the biological father. Like, he literally didn't need to say any of that because Michael Francis has been pretty vocal about this case. So, like, everybody knows. And then if you just say Micah's father, what do you mean? It's very obvious to me what I think he's doing. He said the other day on some show something to the effect of Micah's, one of her tattoos, my name, that's my signature that is tattooed on her body. He inferred that meant that I owned her and that I was controlling her and manipulative. And then I made her get that tattoo so that I could brand her and stamp her and say that she belongs to me. That's not really how it worked.
Nigga, you literally you texted them saying you're going to raise hell. Bring her home. I am armed.
She got my signature tattooed on the other side of her body, but I don't think that it means that I was controlling or manipulative. I didn't think that it means that I owned her. I don't think it was a brand or anything I forced her to do. It was completely her idea. I don't know why Michael would think that. But if you do think that's what it means, if somebody has someone else's name, their signature, even tattooed on their body, if you think it means that person owns them and that they are over them and then controlling them, then what would you say, Michael, about this? And whose idea do you think this was? He then proceeds to lift up his shirt to show a tattoo on his side that reads Micah Miller, but all anyone can focus on was the fact that the tattoo looks very glossy.
What do you mean?
The allegations online by netizens is that he either just got it because you know when you just get a tattoo, it's
glossy,
very pigmented. It's
it's
shiny almost.
Yeah, I got a new one. It's dark as shit, like very dark. It hurts, but yeah.
Because ointment is on there and it just
and it's very saturated.
Yes, it's super saturated. Because you recently got new tattoos. Very saturated, and then even ones that you have from a year ago, they don't look anything similar right now.
Right.
Yeah, no, you can see the difference.
Yes.
And also, just like the theatrics, he said, "Well, Michael, look at this." Like, yo.
So it looks like it was fresh.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's here. It doesn't get sun. I don't know. It looks very fresh, or it looks like a stick-on tattoo.
Oh, gosh.
Ooh, okay.
Is what netizens alleged. Unfortunately, we don't have proof of that. And unfortunately, the sheriff's office have stopped responding to FOIA requests, and the evidence remains under suppression orders. JP has to stop doing interviews and posting his little TikToks. And officially, the FBI have gotten involved. They are running a parallel investigation, but we don't really know anything further than that. Like what they're exactly investigating, we don't know.
So FBI got involved because there's so many people like raising suspicions on this, right?
Yes, but okay, that part is confusing because some sources, that's what it states. Other sources state that it's actually because they were reached out to since the beginning that they found Micah's body, that the police reached out to them. And that they have been running a parallel investigation. But I don't know if that's the more accurate one because I think up until that point, FOIA requests were being taken in by that police. As of right now, Solid Rock's congregation has also decreased by a lot. Back then, before Micah's death, close to 700 people would be in attendance on Sundays, and now it's closer to about 50.
Damn.
He's still talking?
He has been released from his ministerial duties. And that is the current case of Micah. And the very controversial, some would say manipulative, toxic, abuser, manipulator, narcissistic pastor, JP Miller. Some would say that.
Yeah,
I don't know if I'm saying that because there are rumors that he's getting so happy. What are your thoughts on this case? Have you heard about it recently? I know it's been going viral, but I'm going to leave all the links for Justice for Micah's page, and I will leave her GoFundMe linked in the description. But please stay safe, and I will see you guys in the next one.
Justice for Micah, bro. Like, I'm so sorry you had to come across this crazy man. Like, this, from information from this and from the documentary, it's just like, even I feel exhausted. I couldn't imagine the type of just hell you were going through. Rest in peace, bro. Like, it's always sad that you have people who just won't leave you the fuck alone and try to raise hell and everything. It makes it even worse that this is a religious community leader. And also his sermons suck. It's just like, dog, like it's just crazy, bro. Like she did not deserve none of that, man. And the fact that he just is continuing or was just continuing to, it makes it seem like he was continuing to isolate her in whatever type of ways that he can. Justice for Micah, bruh. What do y'all think? Did y'all see the documentary? Do y'all know about this story? If there's more things, I would love to learn from you guys and talk more about this or see what you guys have to say. It's really fucking unfair, dude. And it started when she was literally 15. Like, come on, dog. Fuck this guy.